Alrighty. Hello everybody. Coming back at you with another GTRP stream. It's been a little while. So, a little bit of context, a little bit of information. We are playing Hugo today. He looks a little different, predominantly because we are on a different server. We are on Rebirth RP now. Long story short, Purple currently is not open. It's down. Don't know if it'll be back up or not, but because of that situation, Hugo was asked out. Hello, Miss Rose. I'll be with you in just a sec. Long story short, Hugo got called out here to help the lawyer department out here. He's been working on training people. And we are going to today... Oh, I nearly forgot to do something. There we go. Now it's all balanced for everybody. Today we're going to be doing a mock trial.
What did you make them do?
I just said I'll be with them in a sec. I'm going to give them the coaching because they're going to be our actors.
What is the case then?
You'll find out from your clients.
Okay.
just
they
give me a
be
sec.
My clients?
One of them will be your client, yes. The other one will be the other side's client.
So basically, which side am I today? Prosecution or defense?
Most likely we'll have you on prosecution, unless you have a preference. We're going to be doing a civil mock trial today.
Okay, so it's not prosecution or defense in that regard.
Yeah.
It's plaintiff and respondent.
Yeah, plaintiff.
She's right there. She is correct there.
Yeah, yeah, I forgot that word for a second. I'm sorry.
My first civil trial, I just looked up a bunch of synonyms and worked all of them into my openings and closings.
Yeah, I just forgot.
They can also be known as the complainant.
Yeah.
So, we're going to be doing a lot of training today. We have a different courtroom, but we are still in the City Hall. This is the other side of City Hall in comparison to where we were on the other server. We've got a whole bunch of new people, but you'll also be seeing a bunch of familiar faces. Like you saw Indy Rose there. She's out there with her future husband, as he likes to call himself, Baby. So we're going to go give them some coaching, and then we're going to set everything else up. We're going to be doing a copy of... Or rather, we're going to be using the details from a case I did on my birthday back in January. And hopefully everything's going to go smooth. You know, if we want to get any feedback as well, I will be judging this case. So feel free to pipe up in chat and let me know what you see. Let me know what you want to see. All right, I'm going to go do the intro information for the two of them to let them know what they're going to be up to, all right? No peeking.
No peeking. Of course.
All right. Sorry about that, nightmares. You know how it goes. So.
Oh, good. Why do you want me?
There you go.
So, the two of you are going to be our actors today, and you are going to be suing each other.
Where is he?
We're going to be what? Suing each other?
Yep, you're going to be suing each other. So we have two options available. We have a cop who was off duty.
Where is he?
I'm right here. Hello. You might need to take a nap.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
Seraphine.
So
Hi, Hugo.
how's it going? So the cop's going to be on the
Wait, are
defense
you listening?
side.
Are you in your head?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm here. You hear me?
And the crim is going to be the one actually suing the police officer. It's having to do with a case that I worked back in January. So, who's going to be who, first of all?
What do you want to do?
I've never done crime in my life, so...
I'm
I'm joking. Yeah, I think that I could really embody the criminal and...
All right. You might have even known this criminal, so, you know, I think you can do a great job of encaps. It was Sonia Summers.
No, I don't know who that is.
Well, she stabbed me at the end of the case, so hopefully we don't repeat that part.
Shit, I remember. Did she stab, fucking... Leah Evans, too?
Yep, that was my client.
I remember that. Holy shit.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that case's details, because we wanted to hit them with a sexy.
Can I do it? Can I pull a knife out again?
I don't think that's the best idea, because I don't...
No, but...
If a judge shows up, we might even get kicked out.
Oh, fuck.
Hello, lawyer.
How's it going, boss? Just give me 1 sec real quick. So, you're gonna be playing the crim, and he's gonna be playing the cop. Gotcha. All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull the cop to the side first. We're gonna do this separately so that both sides have slightly different narratives. Yep.
Okay. I'm so excited.
So, you are going to be playing off-duty trooper. We're going to change her name for this. Let's call her Miss Levin, okay? Or
Okay,
Mr. Levin. You will be Mr. Levin,
I'm
Trooper
Mr.
Levin. And Trooper
notes.
Levin was at the mall with their other off-duty officer. Bet your best friend, okay? You can make up a name. I do not care. When an individual pulled up outside of the mall, got out of their car, pointed a gun at your friend, and attempted to kidnap them. You then pulled a gun on this individual, shot them, rendered emergency aid, and then called 911, reported the crime, and the individual was taken to the hospital, then remanded to custody. They are now suing you for damages dealt having to do with the situation. Because of the fact that you're off duty, they're not suing the PD, they're suing you as an individual. And you're going to persist throughout the entire thing that you did nothing wrong. It will be up to your lawyer, your paralegal, to tell you or advise you whether to take the stand or not. I know what happened in the actual case, but I'm not going to tell you that.
Okay. So let me get this straight. I'm Mr. Levin, off duty at the mall with my best friend. I'm named him Squiggles the Clown.
Great.
Someone got out, tried to kidnap my friend, or were they trying to kidnap Mr. Squiggles?
They were trying to kidnap Mr. Squiggles. Yeah, they pulled the gun on Mr. Squiggles, and
Okay.
you were not directly in the line of fire, okay?
Okay. And then I shot the person.
Yep,
I
you
did
shot the
aid.
person.
And I reported 911. They went to the hospital, got aid, then sued me.
Correctamundo.
Cool.
Do you got any
All right.
questions about any specifics?
No, I'm just gonna be a jackass and say I didn't do nothing.
Yep, that sounds fair to me. If you do need coaching, just raise your hand and let me know. They might ask you, if you get up on the stand, they might ask you specific questions. And depending on what you make up, you may end up messing the case. So when in doubt, just ask, okay?
I was just gonna embellish everything, but okay, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, just in case, because you never know what they're gonna ask, right? If they ask a question that'll crack the whole thing wide open, we might not want to give it to them, so you might get a little bit of coaching there. But we'll make sure you're set up right.
Whenever that happens, just stop it, and then 'cause I won't know when to stop, so I'll just keep talking.
Yep. All right, that's what you need to know. We're gonna grab
bet.
Indy now.
She's gonna be right back.
All good. All
Muscle
good.
spasms.
Oh, fair. Does anybody else would they like to play a part? We could have a witness
on,
to this
Luis.
incident.
Oh, I want to do it. I could throw.
We don't want somebody to throw the case. We want somebody to add to it.
This isn't.
Put me on the witness stand. I'm just gonna look at him and be like, he did it. He did it. He's the one you won't.
Is the judge here?
I'm trying to reach a judge, otherwise I will be acting as honorable, not a judge,
Okay.
Hugo Potesta.
Oh wait,
yeah.
Emma's not here.
Because
It is
the
Emma's
judge don't
birthday,
let me wear my mask.
Oh.
so she is taking the day to herself, which I wholeheartedly respect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Emma's
Okay, I'll
birthday,
be
so if
there.
y'all
I
are
can
not
let people
subscribed
get
over
online.
to It's Katie Cat on YouTube, go do that, because she's awesome people, and she definitely deserves the shout out. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last thing.
I could be the bailiff. I could yell at people
Yeah?
when they get out of line.
There you go. That's what you can do. We'll have you
Hell
you
yeah.
set up as bailiff.
Because if you put me on the stand, I'm throwing. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, if anybody wants to play witness to the events, they can, but we have both sides
Okay.
now.
Go on, Luis.
Okay, I'll be the witness.
All right, Luis, come with me.
Oh hell
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so Luis, you are going to act as a witness for both sides here, okay? So you're not going to try and pander to either side. The incident that took place, hypothetically, the made-up situation here, is that an off-duty trooper shot a individual outside the mall because they were trying to kidnap their best friend, okay? Now, where you play in at this is you walked out of the mall after the shots were fired, and you saw that the individual on the defense, Mr. Levin, that's the name, yes, that's correct. Sorry, it took me a second, because I changed all the names from the actual case. So, Mr. Levin was rendering emergency aid to the person they shot. You also heard them say a couple of bad things to one another. Both of them called each other bad things. One called them, the person on the ground called the off-duty cop a pig, and the person, the off-duty cop called them a bitch.
Okay, I'm
If
writing
you
this
get
down.
asked any specific questions that you don't know the answer to, or you're not sure how you want to answer the question, just ask me for a quick coach, okay? When in doubt, coach, because we don't want to accidentally give the advantage to one side or the other in this case. I'm specifically tailoring it so it's like a clean 50-50.
Okay.
Fantastic. That's all you need to know.
Come to courthouse.
Alrighty,
to
Indy.
you and your lesbian
come-
superpowers.
Come
with
be a
my
part of the
mother,
audience.
Then
No, no.
Okay.
Listen, it's not like
Okay,
that.
okay,
Yeah,
I don't know
I'm
what
up,
the fuck
sorry.
that
It's
was
your
all
turn,
about.
Indy.
Oh, fuck you.
should I write this down? Should I write notes?
So I can give you the rundown and then we can go over the specific details. So you are going to be playing Miss Fall, name changed for privacy reasons.
Miss Full.
Miss Fall, you can withhold information here, obviously, depending on how you want to go about it or depending on whether you want to take the stand, but you are the plaintiff, which means that your lawyer has to prove that you are actually deserved damages, right? You're the one bringing this to court today. So Miss
Right.
Fall drove up outside the mall, saw Mr. Levin and Squiggles the Clown there, at which point you attempted to kidnap Squiggles the Clown. Mr. Levin then pulled his weapon upon you and fired upon you. This took you down. At which point Mr. Levin did attempt to provide emergency aid. However, you called Mr. Levin a pig and he called you a bitch.
Can we run back from the beginning? I was taking notes, but it was way
Sure
too fast.
thing.
All
So,
right.
you are
I drove
Miss
outside
Fall.
the mall. I drove outside the mall and I saw Miss 11 and Squiggles the clown. Who did
Yep.
I try to take hostage? The clown?
Yeah, you tried to take Squiggles the Clown hostage.
And then Mr. 11 pulled out a gun.
Yep. And then he shot you. He was not in the line of fire from where you were shooting at Squiggles.
Did I shoot it? I didn't discharge my gun.
No, but you had a weapon.
Is he off duty?
Yes, both of them are.
Both off duty cops.
Yep.
All right, so I had a gun pointed at the clown, and then fucking Mr. 11 shot me down,
Yep, you got domed.
like Leah Evans.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
This is exactly the same case, it's just that the result of this case may be different. You will have the medical documentation as well. That will be entered in, so there is the existence that you went to the hospital. You will have to
Alright.
prove any further damages, and it will be between you and your lawyer to decide how much you are owed in damages.
Okay.
And then if you have any specific
what were my
questions...
injuries?
Bullet wound. Bullet wound to the head. At that range, anybody could have made the shot, you know?
Why am I suing?
You're suing for
I
damages.
wouldn't even sue for that. Let me cut my radio so loud.
One of the things about this is that it's not meant to be a perfect cookie cutter case. There's meant to be some details on both sides that are a little bit discrepancies. And that way
I
it will
still don't
actually...
get why I'm suing.
You're suing for the damages. You weren't able to work.
But I was being reckless, and I deserved it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is why I took the defense on this case. This
Okay.
is why I took this pro bono for Evans, was because I knew she was in the right here.
All right. I don't know. Okay. Yep.
But I've adjusted some facts in the case, so either side could win this one. It's not fully representation of what took place, but it's 90% accurate. So now it's going to be up to the two paralegals to determine whether this is a W or an L for their clients. So,
Sounds good.
with that in mind, you're going to be playing prosecution. I'm going to take you to your lawyer. Alrighty, we don't have any more paralegals just yet. I've got everybody trained up. Trina, this is Indy Rose, a fantastic, upstanding member of the community and a great actor. She is going to be playing
ma'am.
your client, Miss Fall.
Okay.
And then Baby is going to be playing Mr. Levin. The other lawyer, whoever shows up, is going to be getting him. I just need one more paralegal currently. I do believe
Okay,
Jay's going to be showing up. Let me see if I can't reach out to him.
What is the case about?
You can
Miss
discuss that
Fall.
with your client.
Okay,
Alright.
come right this way, Miss Fall.
Alrighty, now we just got to get a hold of the other lawyer. Alright, now I just need to get a hold of the other paralegal and we're set to go. Trying to do some scheduling real quick. Everyone come and watch me sue Baby in the mock trial at City Hall. Nice. See if we can reach out to a judge while we wait.
Justice Forrester.
Hello, Justice Forrester. This is Hugo Potesta.
What's up, buddy?
Would you happen to have some time to preside over a mock trial I am going to be hosting in the next couple minutes?
Can you give me, like, 10 minutes?
Sure thing. We definitely can. I'm still waiting on the other paralegal to show up. I've got all the actors set to go. I would just love to have an actual in-city judge here to make sure that we're teaching them the right way round.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much. We'll look forward to seeing you. We're down at City Hall.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Thank you, sir. Goodbye. Yep, there we go. That's awesome. That's absolutely phenomenal. Alright. I got Justice Forrester. He will be here in 10 minutes presiding over this.
Nice.
Yep.
So he's gonna be the judge?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit up there with him because I want to whisper in his ear and ask him questions. But yes, he will be presiding over this mock trial case to make sure that everything's on the
Okay,
up and up.
I am not being a lawyer, so if there no other lawyer shows up, guess what? You're being a lawyer and you're gonna have to whisper questions to him later.
You really just want to see me cream a paralegal, don't you?
No, you're gonna be nice and use this as a learning experience. And you're gonna mess up too.
Deliberately.
Yes, deliberately.
Fair enough. I do think I should be able to swing the other paralegal we need, though.
Hugo.
Yes?
I got questions.
Okay. What kind of questions?
Can I
Okay,
say
I'm
them
gonna go
out
sit
loud?
with Baby.
Yep.
Oh, did I ever go to prison for like brandishing or attempted hostage taking?
You did go to jail, however, you pled no contest, so that cannot be held against you at this date. Hello,
Okay.
Mr. J.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going great. We're at City Hall. Can you make it out here? You're going to be playing defense.
Oh, yeah, I could be there in a few minutes.
Fantastic. We've got a judge lined up. We've got all the actors here. As soon as you show up and the judge shows up, we're going to be set to roll. Looking forward to it.
Alright, catch you there.
See you very soon. Goodbye. Two things. First of all,
One
Jay is
shot
on his
me.
way. Oh, I'm sorry. First of all, Jay is on his way. Second of all, you can actually take that side of the room because for the first time, I think in your entire experience, you're prosecuting. Both of you.
Hell yeah.
This
I've
side
never
is for
sued
the
people
defendant.
before. I was gonna sue so many people, but no one would ever take the cases in which I wanted to sue.
And you and I both know
Too
why that
busy.
happened.
Yeah.
but we're
Well,
gonna
what
fix
if
that.
what if I have questions mid try? I don't know the answers. Should I just make them up as I go along?
So if you have questions that are irrelevant, you can feel free to make them up. However, if you're in doubt, feel free to grab me. Just raise your hand and I'll come over and answer them for you.
Wait, I have a question. Come over here.
Okay?
Where do I stand as the bailiff?
Bailiff's
if,
gonna be around here.
All right, bet.
What? So, Trina just asked me if I spent time in the ICU. Did I?
Yeah. So you were taken to the hospital and then you
How
were
long
sent
for?
up on the charges. You pled no contest, so they're not gonna hold relevance here today.
Okay.
Yep. That's one of the things to your advantage. In the actual case, I utilized
How
that
long was I in
information.
the ICU for?
Hello.
The gunshot to the head.
Yeah. How long?
Oh, how long? That is a number you can make up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Fantastic.
Oh, he's going down.
Jay is on his way.
Okay.
How you doing?
So,
boss?
we got everybody. We got audience, we've got bailiff, we've got everybody.
You work as a mechanic, correct?
Yes.
I will be half judge, half ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, is that him?
Hello?
That's Hugo. Hugo, this
What can I
Kenny.
do for
Kenny
you?
gets in a lot of trouble. You should probably pick him up as a client.
Yes. I've asked him if what charges I can give for terrorism.
I think we've spoken before, sir, on the
Yeah,
phone.
that's it. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Just give me one
Oh.
second real quick here. Baby, come with me.
Okay.
Jay,
How's it going?
I'm going to make this real fast, okay? Both sides have not been granted the story. Instead, you will be getting your story from your clients. This here is Mr. Levin, okay? His actual name is Baby, but he will be taking the role of Mr. Levin, an off-duty police officer for this case.
Mr. Levin.
Yep. I
Okay.
changed all the names. We are actually using information and facts from a previous case I worked. I've changed all the names for privacy reasons, though.
Okay.
I also have adapted a few bits of information so that both sides have an equal possibility of winning this one. So it will be up to both of you and your skill level to see how far we can take things. You will have the option to bring your client forward, the other side will have the option to bring their client forward, and then there is one witness available if you'd like to speak to him. He is in the raccoon mask, Louis.
Okay.
Alright, good luck.
Terrific.
Yeah, so we are seeking not just.
Just so you know as well, Trina,
Mhm.
there will be one additional witness besides both sides being presented here today. It's going to be Louis playing an individual who was nearby to the incident and witnessed some facts of the statements being made. So he will be
Okay,
able to
so-
corroborate some, but not all of the facts. If you would like to discuss with him beforehand, you can. However, generally that's not going to take place.
Okay, I just have one fact I want established.
Mhm.
It is that my client did not fire a shot at.
Nope. Didn't get time.
Okay, that's
Yep,
all
yep.
I needed to know. Then I'm good.
Fantastic.
No, I'm a non-
Jay is here and he is briefing with his
I've
client.
just been a ward.
Okay,
Mm.
perfect.
Oh God.
So now it's just the justice.
Miss Falls.
I do have one person who want to talk to me, so I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alrighty, everybody's doing their own talks for the next couple of minutes. So what can I do you for?
Oh, nothing. I'm all good. I'm just here for baby's mock trial, literally.
Oh, awesome. Then yeah, if you want to just join the viewing gallery in there, we'll get started in just a couple of minutes once the judge shows up.
Oh, literally, perfect.
Yep.
I just shot somebody. I'm off duty.
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great.
Hugo.
They-
We can
Yes?
prove they were off duty.
Do you want me up there too? Considering
That would be awesome. Let's round out the numbers.
all right.
Hello, Your Honor.
Excuse me, please. Thank you.
Sorry.
How are we doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. How are you?
I am very excited. I've got all the actors briefed. Both sides have individual actors playing the plaintiff and the defendant. And then we also have a third witness as well as our bailiff here,
Hugo.
and then a whole audience.
Okay. Do you have like a fake docket for me to look at to read out the charges and know what I'm hearing here?
It is a civil case.
Okay.
I could write something up for you very quickly if you would like. Otherwise, we could actually put that in as part of the learning here with the openings.
If you want to just give me the who against who and what they're seeking. That's all I
Okie
need.
I did include the settlement as part of the learning opportunity here, so it will be up to the plaintiff's counsel to determine what number they are seeking. I wanna see if they can figure that one out, because you know there's a little bit of difficulty with that in civil cases. You should be proving every cent, but I want to see how they play out with it. That being said, we have on the left for the plaintiff, Miss Fall. And then on the right here, we have, not currently present as they are briefing in the hallway, Mr. Levin, a off-duty police officer at the time of the incident.
Okay. So the case will be Hall versus Lemon.
Fall versus Levin, correct.
Fall versus Levin. Okay.
Yes, the facts of this case actually reflect a case that I worked previously. However, I changed a couple of details to make the playing board even, and changed all names for the sake of privacy. However, the final verdict for this one originally was me getting stabbed.
Yeah, on his birthday.
On my birthday.
Battle plan. If you do need me to fake cry, just poke me and I'll start the tears. I'll do it.
And then the actors we have today are mostly members of FSF. Indy Rose and Baby will be our primary actors.
Oh my god, but I'd be so good on this stand. I'm so manipulative. Damn it.
This is great.
Oh, I'm gonna be the nuclear bomb. I can. So for now,
I did
just
request from
saying,
Miss
like,
Rose that she bring the difficulty level to about a 4 out of 10 to make it fairly simple on everybody.
Sounds fair.
She has many
I'm
skills.
whispering now so everyone can't hear you. I will state this for all of them before we begin.
Mhm.
I will treat this as if it was a real trial, and I will, if people
Hey
get out of
Hugo,
hand,
do you remember the time where I
will
got 42 counts of contempt of court?
have the bailiff here
I actually remember
issue,
that.
you know,
Yeah.
fake contempt. But if it gets really out of hand, if people take it beyond the mock trial, I will get an officer down here to issue contempt if people just start screaming at each other.
Yeah, we had a big
That's
shootout
fair.
in the courtroom.
Yeah, we did have a mock trial 2 days ago where Luke Skywalker was being sued by the Empire. I took that as an opportunity to teach both of the paralegals presenting their cases to us today how not to crack when the witness is being exceptionally difficult. So they should do very good with maintaining decorum, I would hope.
Yep.
I really laid it on thick for them.
All right,
Did
while
Luke
we
win his
wait
case?
for the other side, I'm just going to make this quite clear. All right. This is a mock trial, you all. All right. So please, court decorum still stands. No contempt, Indy, please.
Please, we wanna teach them how to deal with a standard court
Yes,
trial,
ma'am.
not an exceptional one.
That's why I text Hugo and I said, how high do you want the drama level?
4 out of 10.
He said no contempt.
A little bit of drama that I may have to issue you some fake content I'm okay with, but if you dial it up to 11, I will get an officer down here and actually issue you contempt in my courtroom.
No.
Just don't dial it up to 11, okay?
I'm gonna go check on the defense and see how they're doing. Make sure there aren't any other details they need.
You mean the respondent?
Correct.
This is a civil.
I've taken 3 civils pro bono.
I know, and I'll get you trained yet.
Alrighty. How are we gentlemen feeling? Any further questions?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear them.
Did Mr. Levin identify himself to the assailants?
No, he did not. They knew each other.
Okay.
Okay. And
They did know each
where-
other, but they did not identify. He was off duty as well, which would mean that he was not operating in the capacity as a police officer at the time. The original case did revolve around SOPs as well. However, you can choose to bring those up or not, depending on your perspective.
Unfortunately, I don't know this city's police SOPs, so
Yeah, I don't know all of them either. The SOP that it revolved around was the ability for one to protect animals and innocents while off duty. However, the other side of that is that that was specifically brought by the prosecution, which is why it had to be defended against on the defense side.
Okay.
Was the person
So-
wearing a mask? Like, could I?
No,
visibly
you
see
knew who it was.
Okay.
You
okay.
you both
They
were
weren't
familiar
wearing
with
masks,
each
I
other,
knew
and
that.
you knew who each other were, as Miss Fall regularly ends up in the cells, and you are a good cop who regularly is on duty on the force.
Okay, bet. All my notes got deleted from my phone, so I think I know
Yeah,
what
I've been
got it.
noticing that too. I reached the point where I actually just downloaded Notepad on my phone, you know, the classic Notepad, and I've been using
Yeah.
that for all of my casework.
I had all these written down. Now they're all gone.
Yeah.
I think I got it down. I think I can get it down. Oh, and
So-
also, I really don't know where the mall is. I just assumed that there used to probably be a mall near like Little Soul up there, north of there. So.
Yeah, you don't
do
need to
wanna
give a
change
location.
or
We're also giving a
just a
fictional
mall?
location to make it easy. The mall.
Okay.
Okay,
The
so
mall.
it wasn't like the gas station.
No, think
Okay.
a community center, okay?
Okay.
A place
That's-
where people regularly go to pick up food, do business, pick up cars, that kind of stuff. People are always out and about around this area.
Okay, because I had to ask that because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what you can do at gas.
Yep. Yeah, there were no explosion risks anywhere nearby.
Okay.
However, it would be very easy to argue public safety because it is a publicly trafficked place with many, many innocent bystanders. If you wanted to take that avenue, you know, that's the flip of the coin there, the other side of the coin.
Okay.
Alrighty, if you all are ready to go then, I'm going to encourage you to go take the defense side, which will be the left side
Alright.
of the courtroom.
Sounds
Great.
good to me.
We are ready to begin. Before the Honorable Judge Forrester takes it away, I just want to request and state, again, this is a mock trial. If any of the actors have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand, and I will, in confidence, give you the answers so that we don't accidentally throw this one way or the other. That being said, please do maintain court decorum. We are in the proper courtroom of the state, and we should show it all due respect. The other question I have for both sides is, do we need additional time to prepare openings?
I would like a few minutes.
Yeah, same.
Certainly, I'm going to give the both of you until, let's call it 40, a good 6 minutes.
Okay. With that in mind, I'm going to establish some ground rules that would be the same ground
Good.
rules that I would have in any court case. Okay. There will be no masks in my courtroom. So, Raccoon, off with the mask. And there will also be no drinking or smoking in my courtroom. looks at man with eye patch and. Is that a joint in your
It's
mouth?
Not, it's not lit. It's just in my mouth. I've always had it and I can't take it out. It's stuck to my lip.
Is that a? That looks like a joint, sir. Do you have marijuana in my courtroom?
No, it's a butt I found out in the ashtray outside.
It's like that lawyer I used to see. He had a wooden cigarette because he was autistic.
What?
Oh no, I just think I think this cigarette. I pulled it out and I said, "Look cool, look cool."
I mean, if he's chewing on somebody else's cigarette butt, I think he's getting his own punishment.
All right, can we, Trina, just worry about your opening, please. Don't worry about what's going on. Okay, just focus.
That's fair. Very fair.
Okay.
How to tune it out. Yeah, they do got to learn to tune some things out.
That comes with time and practice.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I accidentally do it now. Just start writing notes and then I don't even know what the people are saying to me. It's happened a couple of times this week and it's really funny because I used to not be able to do that, but now it's the opposite problem. Yeah, 2 days ago, Luke Skywalker got found guilty of terrorism for blowing up the Death Star. However, he was not found guilty of first-degree murder or destruction of government property.
I would argue, was this held in an imperial court? In which case, probably, you know.
Oh, him and all the witnesses were sentenced to death anyways. And the Star Witness literally said that the best day for him that ever happened on the Death Star was once they repainted an entire level and he got to watch the paint dry. Those are Empire secrets. He gave them away. Death. Between you and me as well, Your Honor, I was a little bit disappointed that I did not get the opportunity to actually demonstrate my skills with you the other day.
Oh, I'm sure you'll get a chance.
I'm sure there will be, and I'm sure there'll be a lot better than that. We're going to give him a 1-minute warning in just a sec, and then we will begin. This is your courtesy 1-minute warning. 1 minute remains before we will begin. Do any of you need a snack or water?
So we are starting with opening argument, right?
Correct. The
Your
plaintiff
opening
will be...
statement would begin.
Yes, we will begin with the plaintiff and then the respondent.
Okay.
Technically speaking, the respondent can hold their opening statement if they wish.
I've never seen it done, but he is correct. Have you ever seen that? Anybody pull that?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, actually, I have.
I actually had a court case that did
It's very
that.
rare, but it's usually if the defense is trying to, if they want to make a point of something particular, they may hold their statement to see if they can get the plaintiff to, unwillingly lead into their point, if that makes sense.
Oh, yes, definitely. I feel like it's a lot of exchange, though, because you're giving up a lot of control over the earlier portion of the narrative. And the way that human memory works, that definitely works to the detriment to a degree.
I would agree.
Then again, during openings, defendants are on the disadvantageous side, and they get the advantage on the closings, where they get the proper last word before deliberations.
Okay, plaintiff, are you ready to begin?
Yes, Your Honor.
I object, literally.
Okay. Please stand up and introduce yourself to the court.
Yes, Your Honor. Give me a second here. Let me just. I am Trina Renholm, representing the plaintiff, Miss Fall.
All right. Go ahead and make your opening statement.
Just gonna walk over here so everybody can hear me
I'm so happy we got this
a little
going.
better. So, if it may please the court, give me just a few seconds here. I'm sorry. There we go. Much better. May it please the court, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Today you will hear a case not about denying wrongdoing, but about defining what is just, what is proportionate, what is humane. In a moment of chaos, yes, Miss Fall made a reckless and emotional decision when she brandished that weapon during a tense and frightening incident involving Squiggles the Clown and Mr. Levino, the respondent. But I just have one question before I continue. Should I also tell what I seek of damages?
You can.
Yes.
You don't have to, but
Okay.
you probably should.
It would be
Yeah,
a
I
good
will
time.
do that. I will do that at the end, okay? But yeah, Miss Fall made a reckless decision when she brandished a weapon during a tense and frightening incident involving Squiggles the Clown. But let us be absolutely clear. She never pulled the trigger. She never fired a single shot. She posed no immediate active threat that could not have been de-escalated or restrained by a tackle or a taser. And yet, she was shot in the head by Mr. Levin, a man who was off duty and not in uniform, not acting under the authority of law, who made the irreversible choice to use deadly force without a warning or pause. As a result, Miss Fall spent 3 days in the ICU, 5 days at home, endured significant trauma, and suffered the kind of injury that no one should have to face unless it was truly the last and only resort. We are not asking you to excuse her actions, but we are asking you to look at Mr. Levin's. Because the law does not allow any person, police officer or not, to shoot first and ask questions later. Deadly force, especially to the head, must be used only when there is no other option. That is the standard of justice. That is the standard of decency. Over the course of this trial, We will show that Miss Fall never discharged her weapon, that Mr. Levin never issued a warning nor attempted to de-escalate, that he shot the suspect in the head, a kill shot, when other options were available, and that Miss Fall paid the price: intensive medical treatment, emotional trauma, and a slow, painful recovery. The law protects citizens from unjustified violence even when they make mistakes. This case was not about absolution. So therefore, we ask the court, as we are seeking about 160K plus whatever else that the court seeks, finds suitable remedy. Thank you.
Okay, clarifying question, and I wouldn't necessarily ask this if this wasn't a
Okay.
mock trial.
Of course, Your Honor.
What type of damages are you seeking here? Are you thinking like punitive damage? Are you seeking compensative damage?
We are seeking compensatory damages because my client works as a mechanic, so it's lost income.
Okay, and I'm assuming that there would be some form of evidence to prove this that I'm not actually going to have, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's not going to be
have-
ironclad evidence, but yes, that would be the state of it. The way that it would be looked at here in this situation, at least, in reflection to the original case, was they had a document that stated that the individual lost a certain amount of money, but the ability to back that document up was not able to be found in the courts.
Okay.
So they had a number, but the number was not ironclad.
I'm going to go ahead and say right now that based on that and the information that I have, compensatory damages probably would be immediately tossed. And there's a cap amount of, punitive damage here within this jurisdiction. So for the sake of making it so that this would work here, let's cap this at a $20,000 punitive damage. Okay?
Okay. As I said, or whatever the court finds just and proper.
Okay. Anything else?
Not in my opening. I'm then done.
Okay. You may step down. Respondent.
Good man, good man.
Please introduce yourself to the court and your client.
My name is Jay Dortmund, and I'm here today representing Trooper Levin.
Great. Good.
Okay. Do you wish to make your opening statement now, or wait until the plaintiff puts forward their witnesses?
See big smiley.
I have the option to wait.
You can if you'd like to. Generally, it is not normally used. I would advise, just because of the fact that we're trying to do this as a learning opportunity, we go with the standard format. But you can choose to reserve it if you wish to.
Okay. I won't wait then.
Okay. Please present your opening statement.
People of the court, there's a very long list of things I could say here, but I'll keep it short and sweet. When an individual walks up to you and brandishes a firearm pointed at you or your companion, what would you do? Would Would you cower in fear? I would.
I would.
My client chose differently. He decided to take the action and defend himself and his companion. Would an action of self-defense truly be something worthy of going to court for? At least in this capacity?
I nearly died.
Easy on the outbursts. Let him finish his statement. You interrupt him again, I will hold you in contempt. Continue.
Would there really be a reason for this court case if the plaintiff had not brandished the weapon to begin with? That is all, Your Honor.
You can step down. I'm going to ask a couple clarifying questions up here for you, because obviously this would be something that I would consider if I was ruling this case. Was there any form of criminal investigation into this case, or any criminal charges that were levied?
So, for all intents and purposes, in this case, I have adapted it to be that the individual pled no contest so that it cannot be utilized against them in future court cases in order to bring the bar a little bit more fairly to both sides.
Okay, so he pled no contest to any criminal charges that were levied against him, and this is just a
Oh, you're asking about the respondent. No,
respondent,
there were no criminal charges levied against the respondent pending the result of the civil trial, as the state normally functioned civil first,
Can't hear
then
them if
that,
they are
when it came to
speaking.
coming up against troopers.
Okay,
Hugo,
okay, well,
speak up.
They're
Oh, sorry,
rebuttaling amongst
sorry.
themselves. Give them a moment.
I'm getting some clarifying questions on going forward here. Just so everybody is aware, I was asking if the respondent faced any sort of criminal trials before this civil proceeding.
The answer to that would be no.
The answer to that is no. That would weigh here in this state, where all criminal proceedings would need to happen first. Apparently, where this happened, they took the civil case first, but here the criminal trial would happen first. So there, for the cases of this, I'm going to go that there was no criminal trial. So, okay, plaintiff, call your first witness.
These types of details are also exactly why I wanted you to be here, Your Honor. The discrepancies between states, I'm still learning them.
Who was the first witness? Who was the witness?
So you can either choose to call your client as your first witness, or the gentleman directly behind you, Louis, if you don't mind standing up. Louis can be called from either side.
Okay, I'm gonna call Louis then.
God damn it.
Okay. Bailiff, please swear in the witness.
Ah, that's where the witnesses are standing.
All
Okay.
right, raise your hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you, Larry?
Yes.
The witness has been sworn in. Okay. For clarification for everyone here, the proper swearing in here within the state of San Andreas would be: do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, or suffer the pains and penalties of perjury? Because if you perjure yourself on the stand, you could be found guilty of perjury. But she's not a real bailiff, so I'm not going to hold that against her. The witness is sworn in.
If I may interrupt, might I ask the witness to shout?
Yeah.
All right, I'm shouting.
You can always request that.
Can you hear them okay, respondent?
Please speak again.
Yes, hello.
Yes, I can hear them fine. Thank you.
Okay. So, Louis, you were there, correct?
Yes, that is correct. I was there.
Did you stay? How far away were you?
I was near the entrance of the mini mall when I saw what happened.
Mm-hmm. You say a football field, maybe 2 football fields, maybe half.
I was pretty close. I believe it happened in the parking lot. I was at the door of the mini mall.
So basically from here to, for example, over there, for example, here.
I'd say from here to the courtroom doors, yeah, something like that.
Okay. It's just so we establish a proper middle point for everyone to, reference
Yeah, no
point.
problem.
Thank you. But yeah, and what did you see?
Well, I came out the doors. I saw what looked like somebody being kidnapped. And then I saw what looked like a
He's going off script.
second person with a gun. I believe he shot the individual attempting to kidnap the person, and then started to render aid to them. While they were both on the ground, they seemed to be screaming things at each other. The victim of the shooting, I guess, or the kidnapper, called him a pig, and the I guess off-duty officer called her a bitch. That is basically the gist of what I saw during the whole incident.
Okay, I'm going to stop you real quick because I'm going to use this as a teaching moment in this as well. Okay? In this case, you asked the question and the witness answered the question. Your question was very vague, and the respondent could have objected under the case of narrative. All right, a narrative objection is when the question invites the witness to narrate a series of events. Okay? The respondent did not do that. So you asked the questions, he answered. It is what it is, but now you all know. Continue.
Oh, real quick
Thank you,
too.
Your Honor.
All of the actors here, we're going to be following what's called the 5-second rule. So after you are asked a question on the stand, please wait 5 to 10 seconds for the baby lawyers to get a chance to think of any objections that may apply.
Okay.
That's important. That's really important.
Thank you. And I do want to say just quickly, I did leave the door open as a myself knowingly.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm
Yep,
I'm
you're fine to
teaching
do that.
here. That's what we're here for. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
But that's what you, yeah. So, were you there when other officers arrived on the scene or EMS arrived on the scene, or did you get the hell out of there?
I mean, once I saw that the person who was hurt was getting aid, I kind of just, just kind of went about my day.
Okay. Did you see my client ever fire a shot?
No, I do not believe she fired her weapon.
Thank you. I'm all done.
respondent, your witness.
This is genuinely a lot of fun to see how this would have played out differently.
You you say you
It could
saw
have played out differently.
the scene go down, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
How long after the gunshot went off did my client start attempting aid?
It
Could
seemed
you grab
like
that, please?
once he saw that she was down,
Lawyer
he
line,
started
Hugo
to
Podesta speaking.
render aid.
Hello, this is Captain Bradford State Police. Can you come down to MRPD? We have two in custody.
So
I am
basically
currently presiding over a
instantly.
mock trial, but I'm going to
Yeah,
send
I
down
mean,
my fellow,
pretty
Cassandra
much.
Kendricks, and she should be able to take care of business for you. She is also a bar certified lawyer.
Okay.
Amazing. We will meet
So
upstairs.
Of course, we'll be sending her shortly. You have a great one.
And thank you, Hugo.
and did you see him on the phone with like did you see him get on his phone presumably to call the EMS at that point?
She's great.
I didn't really see it directly, but I would, I would assume so. I believe he's an off-duty officer. I mean, he knows the protocols. At least he should.
Okay, I'm gonna stop here. Another teaching moment. All right, that would have been a good time to object on the case of speculation. When a witness asks or guesses to estimate, he was guessed as to who he would be calling.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
How many gunshots did you hear?
Kind of hard to pinpoint that. I mean, maybe one or two.
One or two. Okay.
Good.
And
There needs to be some variability in their
by any
testimonies.
chance could you hear anything that was said before the shot went off?
No, not really. I saw the kidnapper attempt to kidnap someone, then shots seemed to ring out.
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustain. Ask
Okay.
another question.
Okay.
You can reword the question that's in a different way as well. Doesn't just mean you can't get to where you're getting at.
Okay, so
All three of these
So you-
actors
so
are
you
getting
only
paid a
heard-
couple $1,000
so you
for
only
this, by the
seen
way.
the shot occur after the individual tried to kidnap my client's companion, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that is all the questions I have for this witness.
Will you be marking this witness for recall?
I was about to ask that.
Sorry.
Do you wish to call him as your witness later, is what he's asking.
Yes.
Okay, so noted. Plaintiff, do you have any cross based on what was asked?
No, not at this time.
Okay, witness, you may step down. You are going to be considered still under oath if you were recalled earlier. Understood?
Yep, understood.
Great performance. Thank you.
Okay, plaintiff, you may call your next witness.
I only got one other witness to call, right, Hugo?
That is correct. You're gonna want to call your client as the burden is upon you in this case.
Okay. Miss Fall. Then I call Miss Fall to the stand.
Let's go.
Hey, you're gonna be standing over in the box on the left for this. Bailiff, please swear in the witness.
Witness, raise your hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under the pains and penalties of perjury, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
The witness has been sworn in.
Your witness.
Okay. Thank you. Miss Fall. You were shot in the head in this incident, correct?
Yeah, I was shot in the head.
1 second real quick here. First of all, I just want to remind the actors we are following the 5 to 10 second rule. There would have been an opportunity there for the respondent to object to leading, as pretty much any time you end a question with correct, you are leading.
Good catch. Good catch. Mhm. So, go ahead and I'm gonna assume, because you continued so quick, that they probably would have made that objection. So I would sustain that and tell you to either rephrase the question or ask something else.
Okay. I'm gonna rephrase. You were injured in this incident.
Yes, I was shot in the head.
Good.
Is this
Good.
a better rephrasing, Your Honor?
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You could have also just gone with, were you injured at all during this incident? That would have been even more neutral.
Okay. I did rephrase it, so.
Yeah,
Oh, no, you did just fine. That one passed through. I'm just saying there's even more neutral options.
So, you just said you were shot in the head. Care to describe the incident for the court? From you.
She's trying to get away with a narrative here.
Would you like an entire narrative, or are we still talking about the injury?
Now, I don't. No narrative, just your point of view.
That's
What
the
happened?
same thing.
I approached the two gentlemen, and I was looking for a hostage, and so I pulled out my freaking gun. I wasn't even gonna shoot it, and then I said, put your hands up, and before the person even put their hands up, I got shot in the head. I was bleeding out on the ground. I thought I was gonna die.
Okay. So, were there any indication up to that you were gonna be injured?
This is such an
the
F
bullet just
around
came
and
from
find out
nowhere.
case.
Okay. Thank you. Respondent, your turn.
So, Miss Fall, was it?
Yes, sir.
Also, a little bit of lore.
You were
This was the case
at
that got Hugo
the
his promotion to PDO
shopping
head.
mall looking for a hostage, correct?
Correct.
What? To what motive were you looking for a hostage?
Oh, I was going to rob a bank.
I love how blasé Indy was willing to just say that kind of stuff.
So you were going. So you approached. Yeah. So you needed a hostage to rob a bank. So what? Did you say anything other than put your hands up to the one you were going to hostage?
I don't remember exactly what I said. I think I said, "All right, let's go. Put your freaking hands up." End of conversation. Make it snappy.
And then basically it just went black for you, right?
Yeah, I heard the bang, and then there was blood trickling down my face into my eyes and my mouth.
What was the next thing you saw after that?
I could see sirens and people running around, and I don't know, I was laying on the floor. There was a lot happening all at once.
Okay. So you don't remember my client, Trooper 11, giving you any kind of aid?
I don't remember that, no.
Okay. I have no more questions for this witness.
Hey, hold on before you step down. Do you wish to cross-exam?
Me?
Yes, you.
Yeah, I do. But on cross, I am allowed to lead, right?
Yes, but you're in your cross. You can only ask questions based upon what
scope.
he asked.
Based upon scope. Okay. Okay, so I'm not allowed to use what has been said by a previous witness?
No, you can only ask. You could, if it is relevant to what the respondent asked, then I would probably allow it. Yes.
Might I, real quick?
Yeah.
So, when you're dealing with cross and recross, every single set of questions can be considered a narrowing of the scope. In a formal federal case, this would go back and forth multiple times until the scope was so narrow that there are literally no more questions to ask, as all of them have already been asked, and therefore would fall under the asked and answered objection. Considering that we're going for more of a little bit of brevity here and making sure that we're not having 7-day long court cases, normally it is just cross and then recross, so consider each of them to be a narrowing of the scope, and you want to narrow it pretty quickly.
Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to get a feel for what is allowed, like, if I was allowed to use, for example, a previous witness's statements as well.
You can call those into question here, yes. However, you'd normally want to do that during your primary questioning at the original, the direct questions.
Okay. Okay. It's just, I forgot something on my checklist. I do apologize. So.
You can still try to sneak it in. If they don't object to scope, it can pass through. It's up to the defense to catch those things in your position right now.
Okay. So, you don't remember anything after the shot, is what you're saying, correct?
I remember lying on the ground and everyone racing around me, sirens screaming.
5 seconds.
Sorry.
It's okay. That would have fallen under another objection, though, so we got to make sure we're giving him time.
I'm sorry.
Please continue.
So, that's all you remember. Okay. Then I have no further questions.
Okay, you may step down.
Sorry.
Do better.
All right,
Now,
does
while the bailiff is
plaintiff
right... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Does the plaintiff have any further witnesses they wish to call?
Nope, Your Honor.
Bailiff, you are totally right, but they're also all doing great.
True, I just like to give indie shit because it's funny.
All right, respondent. Please call your first witness.
I called my client Trooper Levin to the stand.
Oh, he's committing the cardinal sin. I'm wondering why he's committing the cardinal sin, because he knows it's a cardinal sin.
Witness, please
I'm
raise your
so
hand.
sorry to hear that, Shannon. That's not
Do
good.
you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under the pains and penalties of perjury, so help you God?
Yep.
Our
Before
witness has been
questioning...
sworn in.
Thank you. Before questioning begins, though, I must ask the counsel of the respondents, has your client been fully briefed and made aware of... Oh, wait. Actually, this is a civil case. Never mind. Ignore me. My criminal defense specialization is kicking in. Continue.
Yeah, in a civil case, he needs to testify. So, yeah.
He needs to testify?
Or well, he doesn't have to, but it's less of.
I'm just trying to make sure I cross
Before
all
I
the
start
T's.
questioning, may I have permission to approach the bench?
Sure. The plaintiff step up here.
I was just going to ask if I could step out for a moment to eat and drink.
Okay, so in that case, you could ask for a recess, is how that would work. So,
Okay.
I'm going to grant you a 5-minute recess.
Apologies.
Okay, we're going to be in a 5-minute recess so the respondent's lawyer can go eat and drink.
If any of the actors need food or drink, I have some on me right now. All of that will be provided to you because you all are doing such a great job acting. Is anybody in need?
Yep.
The judge
It
probably
really comes
needs
full
something to
circle,
eat too,
huh?
because I didn't think I was going
I
to be
didn't do
here
it.
that long.
Wasn't me.
my God.
Here, Your Honor.
No, but
I
you
got
get
some
what I
mac
mean?
and cheese.
It
I
comes
can-
full
Hello?
circle.
I'm allergic
The first
to
time we
to-
met, I was doing bailiff things at
Oh,
Saints Court, and
yeah.
now we're here.
I'm not good at
That's
push-ups.
fine.
All right, here, one sec. I gotta feed the judge.
I already
I was
gave
given some mac and cheese.
Yeah, I
Here,
gave
have some
him-
cucumber water to wash it
Laugh
down.
and giggle at us.
Yeah, because I'm allergic
I'm not- I
to
saw
mac
her
and
the other day. I
cheese.
have her number.
How's it
It's
going,
right
boss?
there.
How's life been treating
Apologies
you?
about that.
It's been
No,
good.
it's
been good.
It's fine. We all need to eat and drink every
How have you been?
occasion.
I'm doing great. You see, we got
You're
mock
doing
trial
well
going on.
indeed.
We got paralegals
Yep.
learning. This is the best way to be. I'm very happy.
No, you didn't. You did
I don't
so
usually.
fucking.
Good for you.
I don't usually
Here,
let me
pull
get your
number.
before speaking.
Oh,
I
for
just
sure,
speak.
for sure.
That's fine.
When I told
Let's
you
see,
to do better,
Indy.
Hugo goes, "She's doing great. She's doing great." Even though you're right, I'm like, I just love giving her shit because it's funny.
By the way, I want you to know that you look amazing. Hot as the sun.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. When I heard you were in town, I was so happy.
Yeah. Same. How much to put you on retainer?
So, because of the fact that I have defended you previously, retainer is 5 a week or 15 a month.
I think it got lost
Okay.
in translation. There's been a lot of text.
Okay. Give me 2 days and I'll have it.
Fantastic. Just so you're aware as well,
What do you
if
mean,
I'm not
2 days?
available,
How
I
the
have a
fuck
firm.
broke are you?
So we
I
will
gave
always
all
have
my
somebody
money
to
to
defend
Adeline.
you.
Oh
my
yeah, she
God.
told me that.
But we have a firm, hence one of the reasons we're doing the training. We're going to have a bunch of people raised to our caliber, and we're going to have somebody always available for you, all right?
Perfect. Perfect.
Phenomenal. All right, we're going to
Okay,
resume this.
We'll go ahead and resume. It's not quite 5 minutes. Normally, in a full trial, if a judge sets a time, we would be strictly on time. But if everybody's ready, we'll action.
Action, yup. He gets it.
Take 2.
I can resume questions.
Yes.
Thank you. So, Mr. Levin.
Yeah.
Can I ask you to give a brief point of view of what you saw during this incident?
Well, I was at the mall and with Mr. Squiggle, my friend. He's a clown. He's my friend. And then we were outside the mall, and the car pulled up, and that lady over there got out and held a gun to Mr. Squiggle and said, "Get in the car. I'm gonna take you out there." And then I was like, "Nah, my watch." Bam, blaster.
Okay, so Mr. Squiggle was actively she was attempting to take Mr. Squiggle hostage, correct?
Yep, that's what it looked like. She got out, said,
Just
put your
again, reminder, 5
5
second
seconds.
rule. Yep, also, that was another lead because you ended with correct again.
"You want to start over? You want to do it again?"
Let's hit it with a quick rephrase, just for practice. We did that to the other side, so we're going to be even here.
So Mr. Squiggle, so you saw the plaintiff attempting to take Mr. Squiggle hostage.
Better. Still leading, but better.
I do believe so. She got out, held the gun.
There we go.
Put
Good.
your hands up.
That depends on the person, Shannon.
Hugo, I gotta run now.
Oh, you're all good. You're all good. Find me later and I'll pay you for
And-
your time, okay? Just remember you worked an hour for this.
Okay, bet. See ya.
Yep.
And you would you say what you did was out of self-defense?
I'd say it was in defense of my friend, Mr. Squiggles.
Ooh.
Seemed like
So
ready to
technically
commit
you
bodily
could
harm to
argue
him
it
with a gun.
wasn't self-defense. Because after they were done with Squiggles, how were you sure that they weren't going to go for you? But what they just
And
articulated was specific defense of a friend.
You as a police trooper were taught to protect, serve, defend the public. We're trained to do that.
Correct.
So would you say it was just kind of like a reaction?
I would say so. When I see someone in trouble, I try to save their life.
Sorry for the clicking for anyone watching. Nervous energy. Got a pen on the desk.
Okay. And
Excited energy is a better word for it, actually. I'm really proud of how these new paralegals are turning out. Hugo's been in town for literally 1 week.
And
we're already getting them
as a
up
police
to scuff,
trooper,
up to the standard.
you hold yourself to that, right?
But yeah, Shannon, that really depends on the
I hold
person.
myself to protect the people. I
If it
think
makes you happy,
you're meaning.
Considering how
Yes,
sad the
yes.
situation is, that
It-
would be
it-
what I would do. But if it's just going to be a reminder and you need some
Okay,
time to
so
sit with
with
the
that,
discomfort, that's also totally
I have
fair.
no more questions for this witness.
Okay, plaintiff, your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I know people cope with grief in all sorts of different ways, so just take the time you need for
Let's get
you.
started here. Oh, sorry, Mr. Levin. There we go. Hello, Mr. Levin.
Hello.
So, Mr. Levin, at the time of this incident, you were off duty, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
You didn't wear your uniform or a badge in your belt or anything indicating where you worked at all?
No, I was off duty.
Okay. So, would it be right for the court, not just me, but everyone in this courtroom, to assume you were not operating under the authority of your department at that moment, but you were, as a private citizen, out having a nice time? Is that correct?
Objection.
What kind of objection?
Leading.
So that would be leading. However, on cross, the council is allowed to lead.
That is correct.
Could you ask a question
So
again,
that's going to
please?
be overruled.
So you were a private citizen at that moment. You weren't on the clock, so to speak, right? Is that correct?
I was off duty.
Okay.
He's learning and
So-
paying attention, though.
So I'm going to specify something here for everyone.
Mhm.
Okay, as to how the jurisdiction. I'm going to assume that I am ruling this in the jurisdiction and where this actually happened, in which case the argument is being made that he was not an on-duty officer, therefore he couldn't act with police powers. I will very much specify that here within the state of Los Santos, the San Andreas State Police troopers are considered troopers whether they are in uniform or not, and they can act as law enforcement officers while off duty, as long as they properly identify themselves and are carrying their badge with them.
Yeah, but that's what I was just establishing as well. He didn't carry a badge, as he said.
Okay. Well, I wanted to make sure, because I didn't know where this happened, if that was the case. So
I did went with the assumption it went that the case went on here, so that's why I established that he didn't have a badge on, Your Honor.
okay, that's well for the record here. He doesn't have to have the badge on visible.
No.
He just has to have it on his
jumpsuit.
person.
Yeah, but he just said he didn't have it on him at all.
Okay.
I was under the assumption that you asked that I was carrying it like physically in like physical view. I thought that was what.
Oh.
Okay, so for
you asked it
clarification,
along with, like,
clarification, because we're tailoring it to here.
Okay.
You want to
so-
rephrase the question, then we'll
Yeah,
just ask
yeah.
the question again.
Yeah, I will re-ask the question then. So, Mr. Levin, did you have it in? Since you didn't have it out physically, did you have it in your pockets? Your badge.
Hugo, did I have it?
Yeah, you did it. Yeah,
I
you
did. Yeah, I did have it. I did have it on me.
Okay. That establishes. Yeah, that is fine. You observed Miss Fall holding a weapon, yes?
Yep, Miss Quick.
Yeah, did you see her fire it at anyone?
No, but I did see her hold it to him.
Yeah.
Next Fight Club
Did
stream is
she
going to be up
ever
to Dak.
threaten to kill the person?
That's Dak's project,
question.
so I'm assuming it might be a monthly or bi-monthly thing if I had to take a guess.
Not that I'm aware. She
Because we
just said,
have
"Put
a
your
lot of
hands up."
events going on
Okay.
Regality planned coming up. Lots of events. It's going to be very
Isn't it
exciting.
true that many tense situations like this involve weapons but don't escalate to gunfire?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Normally, even if somebody points a gun at you, in most cases, it doesn't always in most cases, it doesn't mean the gun is fired at someone.
I mean, I think it would surely depend on the situation if they're trying to kill me or not. I assume that if they hold a gun to me, they're attempting to kill me. So I think it would result in gunfire.
Are you trained, you as an officer, are you trained in de-escalation tactics? Are you not?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you attempt at any point to de-escalate before shooting at my client?
Well, from what I remember, she hopped out, pulled the gun up, and then that's when the gunfire started.
The nondescript but
So-
accurate answer.
You just said she didn't fire her gun. Did you fire your gun?
Yeah,
As I
this-
stated before, yes, I blamed her. Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
He
so you shot
blamed
her
her.
without warning, without attempt to de-escalate. Did you even identify yourself as a state trooper at that second?
Well, I've dealt with your client previously. She's committed a lot of crime before. She's been in the cells very often, so we know each other.
Oh, that warms my
Did
heart,
you
Shannon.
aim
Thank you. I
for
appreciate
the
that a
head?
lot.
Why didn't you aim for the shoulder?
We try
or
to
the
have a good
leg,
time over here. I try to
or
be
the
a nice
hand,
little
or the
end
arm,
/ beginning of the week
where you could have
refresher
done
for everybody. And
just
it
as
means a lot
well
that you
a
say that.
de-escalation, but without almost killing my client.
I don't think I previously stated that I aimed for the head.
But you did, didn't you?
I can't
So,
say I did. That's where
just
the
an
bullet
opportunity
landed.
here. This is one you haven't heard before, Jay, but that could have been classified as badgering. Just for the learning opportunity. You can feel free to continue answering, Mr. Levin, but just so we're all on the same page, that could have been classified as badgering. The same question being asked multiple times, trying to get almost a different answer.
I
So-
retract my question then.
So that would have been an objection for badgering.
Correct. That would have been badgering the witness.
But yeah, then I'm retracting the question then at that point.
It could also have been considered argumentative as well.
Yes, it could have.
But I retract my question.
Yep. Fair strategy. Fair play.
May I continue with the rest of my questions?
Yes, it would be referred to as the next line of questioning. If you'd like to go to your next
Yeah.
line of questioning, go right ahead.
You were not injured in this incident, correct?
Yep.
No, thankfully, the incident had ended before anyone was able to get hurt other than your client.
So, no one else was physically harmed prior to you shooting.
Yeah, but still the work week and everything. Oh, you graduate.
No,
Oh,
not physically harmed.
oh, that's what you're saying. Gotcha.
You
Congratulations.
understand
Whoop, whoop.
that a bullet wound to the head has life-altering consequences, even if the person survives.
Yes, but I believe a bullet to anywhere probably has life-altering consequences.
A bullet anywhere is life altering. That's fair.
Okay. You had your firearm drawn. Were you in cover or exposed?
As I remember correctly, I was standing near the situation, so I'd be probably out open.
Okay. Did you consider calling for backup or law enforcement response before engaging?
No, because she was an imminent threat to my friend Mr. Squiggles as she hopped out the car and attempted to take him hostage. I did not know if she was going to immediately shoot, which would not allow me to have time to call for backup.
So, isn't it true that Miss Fall could have been disarmed or arrested without shooting her in the head with, for example, a taser?
Possibly, but I was off duty, so I would not have all of my duty belt on me.
Okay. Do you think operating on no, wait. Isn't it possible you pulled the trigger without fully assessing whether deadly force was the only option?
May I say one more time?
Isn't it possible you pulled that trigger without fully assessing whether the deadly force was the only option?
In my line of work, I assume that if a gun is held, that they are using deadly force first, so I may be able to use it at that time.
But earlier in my line of questioning, you said you were trained in escalation tactics.
Trying to hit him with a contradiction.
Correct.
Ooh.
So you don't think it would have been possible to talk my client down?
And that time, probably not. She held a gun to a random man's head.
You're aware that law does not permit deadly force unless it is absolutely necessary to stop an imminent threat. Correct?
Correct. Your client was an imminent threat, Mr. Squiggles.
And despite that, you're trained in de-escalation tactics.
This is
She
good.
never fired
This
a
is
shot.
good.
Mr. Squiggles put their hands up, as earlier stated, in this case.
I can say that de-escalation is more used against crackheads with like butter knives.
Oh, it's lagging?
A gun to the head.
It's not telling me any drop
So
frames.
you
Something's probably
fired at
happening on
someone who
YouTube.
had not
then.
shot,
Unless you mean
had
the
not
audio.
moved to shoot, and was
I spent
ultimately
an
shot
hour
in
working on
in
that
the
today.
head by your hand.
Spent an hour working on the audio for the stream.
On what cause?
Asked and answered.
I'm gonna go ahead and sustain that. You have asked him that, and he did say yes that he did that. So.
But
Good.
I'm all
Good.
done anyway, Your Honor.
Okay, respondent, if you wish to cross-examine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your witness.
So, as an officer trained, but as a police officer, you were trained to assess the situation and render the best possible results, correct? Or
That's correct.
Okay, good. Yep. Using leading on the recross.
at the time of the crime or scene, you you had assessed that the only possible way was to try to disable the plaintiff.
Oh, 2 bars. Ouchie.
Correct. She's aimed as an imminent threat.
I know my audio's lagged a couple of times, though, so thanks for the warning, though. I do appreciate the shout-out to make sure that we're all on the same page. But I haven't dropped a single frame today. We've got good connection.
So so as police officers, you aren't necessarily trained to kill, or am I mistaken?
Or you're trying to neutralize the threat.
By any means necessary.
That is correct. If someone accidentally dies, that happens. But we were trying to neutralize the threat.
He's going a little off script, a little bit aggressive cop, but it's not a bad way to go either because you're gonna deal with all sorts of cops and all sorts of clients. So it
And
going a little
how
bit
accurate
wide is good.
Is your shot?
Depending on how far it is, I'd say somewhat accurate.
Pretty accurate.
So would you say you weren't
Now Indy's training the
actually
actors.
trying to aim for the head?
I was just trying to aim to neutralize the threat the best possible way.
As we are dealing with actors here, I'm just going to step in for a quick second. Generally, when it comes to police forces across the country, they are trained to shoot for what is known as center mass. However, that is not a term a non-officer would be familiar with.
Center mass.
There you go.
Depending on the force too, certain forces could be trained in certain tactics, such as what is called the Mozambique drill, which would actually be 2 shots to center mass and 1 to the head.
Yep.
That's depending on the situation. But anyways, continue.
I'm not going to do that right now because this is one of the first time Foresters had the chance to deal with Hugo. However, the last mock trial, Hugo and Emma were the sitting judges, air quotes, not actual judges. And that was much jokier because it was meant to get these paralegals to crack.
May stand down.
Okay.
So
Do you have any further
there's
witnesses
footage of
you would
that,
like to call?
and it will probably be coming out shortly. It's great.
Not you, respondent.
Not at this time, no.
Do we want to give him till 50 for closings?
Yeah. All right. I will give you guys a 8-minute recess to prepare your closing statements. Okay.
Also, just so we're on the same page in relation to the ruling, that specific jurisdiction thing you mentioned earlier would actually be applicable here as well, as one of the parts of the result was, one of the primary components was a component of the SOPs which specifically stated that off-duty troopers could act to protect both innocent life and animals. And it was found as that was a major collection point of the population that the prong of innocent life was met there. So, different ruling, but similar result to what you were saying earlier.
I'm going to be real honest with you also, Mr. Patel. I'm going to be real hesitant to actually issue a final verdict on this, as the case in this is involving self-defense of others and police actions. And self-defense of others has not clearly been established within this jurisdiction yet. And I don't want to set a precedent in a mock trial, if that makes sense.
I respect that decision as well. Could we declare? We will come to a decision upon deliberations.
I will declare a winner, but I'm not going to specify as why, if that makes sense.
That's fine enough, as long as they both get notes on improvement, because that's what we're really here for.
Yep. Sounds good to me. I'm not going to get into the real nitty-gritty legal as to why I made my decision. as in order to not set a precedent.
Not only that, but the facts in this
Yeah.
case are quite convoluted
still-
as they've been adapted.
Yeah,
just
and
wanna-
I,
I just want to real quick thank you for your time, Your Honor, to
no
be
problem.
here.
There's also a lot that is missing here that you guys wouldn't have, that you should have: medical reports, things of that nature.
Resources,
Yeah.
pay stubs.
Yep.
Next mock trial, I'm bringing more receipts, so believe you me, there will be more available.
To be fair, Mr. Potesta, for something that I didn't know was happening an hour ago, this has been very well orchestrated, and I think that a lot of people could have easily learned a lot of things in this. So
Fantastic.
I'm learning so much just by being around Hugo.
Whenever we don't get a call, I like to grill the paralegals, because that's how the time should be best spent.
have you learned to make sure that his car's full of gas yet?
No, I've been the one driving.
Yeah, that was Brian's fault.
Yeah.
I told him
Alright,
before we left the city that he should refill
Since
it.
we got a few more minutes, I'm going to step into my chambers real quick, and then I'll be right back.
Yeah.
What?
I gotta talk to you a second.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
Damn,
I have no
shit.
fucking idea what questions to ask.
It's okay.
I'm so fucking bad at that.
You're not bad, you're learning. There's a difference.
Yeah, it's a learning. The reason I have a little experience is because I defended myself in trials before. And I'm willing to help you learn, okay? That's why I sometimes leave some of my questions open so you have a chance to object. Like vague, or, you know.
Asked and answered.
I apparently caught that one pretty
did.
well.
You did.
Yeah, see? See?
Can I have a
This is
doc-
what-
I also saw you leading in
Can you what?
recross.
Can I be a lawyer?
Bobby, do you have any felonies?
Oh, so many.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
the
biggest
answer would be
no-no.
Today, a few.
Today, a few. Oh my goodness.
No, you have to
I
get an
have-
expungement.
I have a
Okay,
good
who do
answer
I
for
point
you.
a gun at for an expungement?
I was gonna tell baby lawyers, meet Bobby Tables, a former client of mine, absolutely fantastic person, however, definitely has some felonies on their record.
Yes, definitely has felonies.
Oh, Little Puppy Tables?
Yup.
Yeah,
It's a comic book reference. I'm sorry.
yeah. Little Bobby drop tables.
Yep.
Trina,
That
you
drops
might know
all data.
Bobby.
Bobby?
I know Bobby.
Yeah,
Hey,
Cassie
Bobby?
definitely
But-
does.
Don't you remember
Bobby
me?
knows, but Bobby knows me as Kinsley, not Cassie.
Yup.
Oh,
Dr. Trina, I used to wear green scrubs at the old Sam's.
oh, hi, Dr. Trina.
Yeah. Do you know how many people I've treated in the old
Touch
city?
with me?
Trina
You
was
haven't
just
treated
you.
a
me.
very frequent medical
I've seen you in the
technician.
hospital a few times, so I knew you were from the hospital.
In the old hospital or the new one? Here.
I think both.
Weren't you in? Yeah.
Yeah, I was a doctor here.
Yup. Yeah, you worked with Arthur for
yeah.
a time, and now that's the next target that we're gonna take from Sam's, is we're gonna take Arthur Talon.
It's a victory tea
Uh,
wagon.
Hey, aren't you working on it? I saw him in
Yep.
the email chain.
Yup, we are
Shame on
working
you.
on it.
Shame, 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 shame,
Awesome.
shame.
Snip through it.
But hey, I get to work with with the guy I always used to just sit and I used to just smoke cigarettes indoors at City Hall.
You know, actually, the reason why that was allowed in that state was me.
Actually, do you know what? The bailiff, he literally said, "No smoking in City Hall." And I looked at him, "Where is the sign?" "I don't know."
Oh, regardless of the sign, the edict that came from the government was a result of me. I met the governor on my second day in town, and I convinced him to let me smoke wherever I wanted. And then the next day, that edict came out.
Which one?
The one that
Which
allowed
governor?
smoking in all public spaces.
You mean Bones?
No. This would have been Graves.
No. No,
This was
we are not.
before Bones.
Yeah, this was
We are
before
not talking
Bones.
about.
Good.
We are not talking about the mad governor.
All of them were mad.
Oh, I nearly married that man.
Which one? Graves?
No, I was gonna be Indie Bones.
Indie
I do
Bones.
have to say, for some reason, I keep falling over.
Have you eaten? Are you feeling all right?
Said yes, I was drunk.
Um,
And then someone told me that if I did it,
Do you need food
I
or
don't
water?
know. No, I don't need food or water.
Are you hurt?
I don't.
I just wanted to live in the mansion.
My pride is hurt. Does that count?
I don't think so.
Damn it.
Well, it's all right.
Now I remember you, Indy. I've treated you a fair.
Alrighty, do you want to
Yeah,
call them back and
from
herd
that
the
stand.
cats, or should I?
I've treated you a fair few times as a
Yeah,
doctor there.
I mean, I don't want to be big-headed, but I'm pretty famous. Everyone knows me.
Okay.
It's good seeing
It's-
you again.
The recess is over. Let's where's the
Does anybody know where the respondent has
trooper,
gone?
The respondent is.
Where's Mr. Levin?
Indy, do you know anything about the locations of your future husband?
Yeah, he was getting overwhelmed because everyone was shouting and he couldn't hear anything. I just think he's just here.
That was how I got introduced to Baby. Apparently, he just walked right up to Indy and said, "Hello, I'm your future husband." He's really, really great people, though. Very kind, good heart. You're all good, Shannon. Life comes
Hey,
first.
plaintiff, you may make your closing argument.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, we are not here to debate whether this situation was intense. We're not here to excuse what Miss Fall did. We are here because a person who had not fired a shot, who had not taken a life, was met with the most extreme and irreversible response possible, a bullet to the head. The law, as it stands, is clear in its spirit. Deadly force is a measure of last resort. It is not to be used because someone might pose a threat. It is not to be used because someone appears dangerous. It is only justified when there is a clear, immediate, and significant danger to life. That standard exists to prevent exactly what happened here. Miss Fall brandished her weapon, yes. Was it a moment of volatility? Yes. She did not physically harm anyone. But still, Mr. Levin still acted as judge, jury, and executioner in a split second with no warning, no negotiation, no chance of de-escalation, or no pause. You're not being asked to condone my client's actions. You're being asked to judge his actions. Did he have the right to use deadly force at that exact moment, not based on fear or instinct, but on necessity? Because if not, if there were other options, other outcomes, other actions that could have been preserved, life and safety, justice demands accountability. Thank you.
Respondent, your closing.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I bring this to you. A story of self-defense from an active criminal who had openly admitted to going to do crime right after. Should we really be punishing those who acted in self-defense? Or should we be really looking at why the self-defense even occurred? Should we really be punishing self-defense of others?
should we really be
Lethal
defending?
force is a last
Good
resort.
argument.
But when all other options are lost in such short time, it quickly becomes the only option and only resort. That being said, should that really be punished?
Yes. Yes, self-defense of
Thank
others
you.
should be punished. But he made a good argument based on what he knew.
Okay, you probably definitely need to go. Your leg must be injured or something. You need to go talk to the doctors after this. All right. So normally I would go back. I would review case law. I would review the facts and evidence on the docket, and I would come to a ruling. And then I would come back and I'd rule on it. As I said earlier, I'm hesitant to make an actual ruling as to why I made my ruling here today, due to the case being argued here today really is, it is argued self-defense, but it's the defense of others. All right. And it's even more broader than that, because it's an off-duty officer acting in the defense of others. So there is a lot of nuance and a lot of things to be considered. There's the procedures with Andrea State Police, which we don't have any experts as to what their operating procedures are or are not here with us today. So it would be unfair to rule upon that without that. There is also the fact of defense of others is not clearly established within our judicial system, and is something that has yet to be a case that is argued before this court. It is a court case that I am almost certain will happen, and indeed will set a court precedent when it happens. With that being said, I believe in this case, I would probably lean more towards the side of the plaintiff in this. Okay. You guys did a very good job of, pointing out that no steps to de-escalate were offered. It was very much shoot first and ask questions later. There were a lot of other things that you could have done to improve your case, and there are a lot of things that the defense could have done to poke holes in their defense. All right, a big thing for the defense that I would recommend in a case like this would be, you got into the fact of the officer in question knew the offender, but you didn't really go into that, right? There could have been more knowledge that the officer had that could have led him to believe and gave him that good faith belief that if he did not act immediately, it could have led to violence. There could have been situations where he dealt with this individual that she became violent. That was not introduced here. That was not mentioned. The big argument was this person pulled a gun and then was shot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hugo, do you have any other thoughts on that you want to add to?
I think the both of you did great. The angles you went for were good angles. However, on both sides, I would have said a little bit more diversification. If you had diversified your angles, you would have had the opportunity to not only dig in multiple directions, but you could have come to a common point and it would have made your argument stand out more because it was standing upon multiple legs, so to speak, instead of just one.
Yeah, I would agree. Honestly, the only thing at the end of the day we heard from both sides was I stuck a gun in this guy's face and then I got shot by the other guy. That literally came from both sides, right? So you would want to argue a lot more to the facts as to why, rather what happened, if that makes sense. Does anybody have any other questions for me?
Something I'm going to advise both counsels to do at this time is, especially after your first couple of cases, you should request a quick post-op with the judge in case there's any questions that you have directly, in case there's any questions you have on the ruling, anything such as that. It's going to be a great learning opportunity, especially as you learn your judges. I just want to confirm real quick here, too. Our third actor was Louis. Louis, you did a great job back there. I know it wasn't as interesting as up in one of these seats up here, but you did a great job. All three of the actors will be receiving their pay. You're all receiving $1,000 per hour. Thank you so much for helping with this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hugo.
All right. I've got
I've
dinner
checked.
waiting for me at
Yeah.
home. I got to get going.
You ruined
Thanks
my
for the help.
husband, Mr.
Okay.
Levitt's career.
Thank
I
you.
can never forgive you.
Okay,
Oh.
not here, not here, not here.
Not here.
I
No,
need to go to the hospital.
let me
Yes,
check
you
Why,
you.
why'd she kick me?
Here,
Yeah.
Louis, I don't seem to
got
have your number. You
back,
want to give me your
Mr.
number?
Levitt.
I can't
Damn
believe
it.
Really?
she-
All right. You two, come with me.
Of course, Cassie.
That's okay.
Thanks.
Stop. I'm so in
I think I did the thing where I was in another app last time you tried to share it with me. One sec, I'm going to pay you.
How's
All right.
that for a twist ending? Ow! You harlot.
Okay, thank
There
you.
you are, sir. Thank you so much. You did great.
No problem.
All those little details and the extra faces really help.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go with Trine.
right.
There, she's taking Jay to the hospital. He's
Totally fair.
falling over.
I think that did great for impromptu.
Yeah, and it's good to have actually the judge's perspective on how he would have handled it.
He found in
anyways,
favor
so
of the plaintiff.
I think that helps with the learning curve and everything like that. So,
Yep. No, I think that was phenomenal. That was exactly what I wanted to get out of it for both of them. It
Mhm.
also gave an opportunity to see how he operated, which is good for me and for everybody else in that courtroom.
mhm. Yeah, it was beneficial for all of us, even though I didn't get to see all of it, but that's okay.
How did the cell rep go, by the way? Everything all right?
Oh yeah, yeah. So the parent, they didn't even push the like it was apparently was going to be robbery, evading, and drug possession. They didn't push the robbery because they weren't in the house, so they didn't even bother pushing that. But just drug possession and evading got them 40% off.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple of clients actually call me just because they wanted to call me, and when I
Mhm.
came down, they said sorry, and I said no, don't apologize. I want the paralegals to have the chance to see these cookie cutter formulaic ones too. They should understand how the process works, no matter whether it's simple or difficult. And if you only call me down for the niche stuff, they're never gonna learn how to do 90% of the job.
So you got to remember, everything's going to be different here than what you are used to.
Yep.
What this judge is doing and everything, and the way it is what I am used to.
Yep.
So,
I mean, there's not too many dissimilarities. The structure of court is the same,
Mhm.
and you know how adaptable I had to be considering depending on the judge, so the minute details I will adapt quickly. I do like the fact, too, that he didn't want to set precedent with something he didn't have full control over, and I like his honesty with that. LeBonk! Hello, Dak. Welcome in. No, I'm very happy with how all that went. And for 6K, that learning was more than worth double that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. So where's your head at for the rest of the day? What you thinking?
I told him to take him to the hospital and come back here and talk to us.
Awesome. That sounds great to me. I do think Trina is a little bit more gonna need. I actually remembered one of the other pieces of advice I haven't given to either of them yet. My rule number 1: don't fight with the proctor. I think that'll help her.
Well, she's got to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, she tiptoes around the line a little bit too much. It would work better in a more aggressive courtroom. However, I don't want to instigate a more aggressive courtroom if we can avoid that.
She's got to remember this is not like the state we all left.
Exactly. And
that's the biggest thing.
I feel like people telling her that, combined with a little bit of on-the-ground experience, will curb it. If it doesn't, though, it will be mud on her shoes, because she'll be the one walking through the swamp.
Yeah.
I think
I'll
Jay's
be honest,
doing
if
better
that
with his
comes down,
confidence. Sorry.
if it comes down to it, and and she does do that, I'm sorry, we're cutting her loose.
Oh yeah, I ain't backing it. I mean, if she starts fighting with a judge, and a judge comes up to us and asks what the hell, I'm gonna ask what the hell too. That's not something I'm gonna back. I'm gonna back her if she gets a little bit upset if she sees rights violations. But you and I both know where that bar lies, and it's not eggshells, it's glass.
Yeah, but fortunately, there is minor compared to what we're used to.
Exactly. Eggshells are going to be the worst we see here, and my feet can handle eggshells all day long. Hugo speaks in metaphors, just like Vince speaks in metaphors.
But yeah, I don't know. Jay's got a lot of work to do, but he's trying, and I am applauding that effort.
He was quick on the pickup. We told him that you couldn't object to leading, and then the next witness that went up on his recross, he started leading. And that's good. That's very good. He also hit with an asked and answered at one point, which is also very good. I got the opportunity to show them both what badgering is, because one of them started doing it. I also didn't hear any of the objections being pushed against by the judge, which makes me feel much better, too, about that positioning. Because I wasn't sure if any of the standard objections were going to be something that's not utilized, and that would be a much harsher learning curve.
Yeah. The one thing I'm going to say straight out to you, I'm not fond of the pick-me attitude.
Yeah.
Or oh, woe's me attitude, and Trina's got to cut that out.
Fair. I mean, one of the reasons I was brought in as PDO was because of the fact that I'm much more a neutral energy. I have no problem with you being the hammer.
Yeah.
Outside the courtroom. We're both hammers in the courtroom.
In the courtroom, yeah. We're hammers where it matters the most.
Yup, exactly.
But it's just, she's got to tone it down, because I get aggravated and overstimulated a lot. So
I could also just see her, she was trying to open debates once or twice, or trying to explain herself, and I get why she was trying to explain herself, but the thing is, we knew. And I don't think she understood that we know that why she was trying to do it. We get that. Knock it off, though.
Yeah.
The justification doesn't make it better.
No, exactly. But yeah, if there's she's got a lot of work. She's says she feels confident in writing the bar. I don't feel comfortable in her writing.
No. Also, the bar is not going to be written.
She's not there yet.
Oh, you mean by taken or written? Because I was going to say oh yeah, no, she's not ready for it yet. She doesn't have the writ down in many of the specifics yet, in my opinion.
No, but she's
I'd say Jay's closer.
She says, "Oh yeah, I feel comfortable in taking the bar." I'm like, "You're not there yet."
See, Jay knows because he tried to take the bar and then sought out teaching. So he knows that there's stuff on the bar that isn't something you're going to learn unless you just do the footwork. So he's got an understanding for that. So I think actually we'll have to encourage him before he takes it on his own. But both of them, I say we give them another, I don't know, half week, like 3 to 4 days, see how it all pans out. This is their first 3 days for both of them, realistically. Jay's probably on 4, and I'd say they're doing good for that time frame.
Yeah, they're on track. It's just one of them has to get more confidence. The other one has to lower their expectations, because they're not going to always win.
If only we could take one, we could just take some out of one and put it into the
Put
other.
it in the other. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know.
We'll get there. We'll get them there. I believe in them.
Yeah. Well, we got our law firms all paid off until next month, where we just have to pay again, but that's only a K, so it's
Oh,
not
that's
a big
easy.
deal. Yeah, and then we just have to get our premise, and I already have 40K, so
And I'm on 100 right now.
okay, so we're well on our way. I don't want to touch the retainers unless we have to.
Bobby is going to be providing us a retainer in the next 2 days at the reduced rate,
Okay.
as they were involved in the Jenkins et al. case.
Yes. Okay, so anybody that is part of Indy's original crew
Yep.
will get that deal.
Yep.
Period. So
Yeah, I was just giving the specifics of where they
Mhm.
were from, too.
yeah, no, I know where they're from. Believe me, I know where they're from. I was there.
so happy to see Bobby. POV, lawyering. We're in City Hall, lawyering it up.
But that's
I
the
love these
biggest thing,
murals.
right? Like,
Oh, yeah. Once we have an office, we can stop having meetings on the 3rd floor of Vice's parking lot.
well, we're not doing that there either. I'd rather us go to the pier because nobody goes to the pier anymore.
That is fair. We did that one because it was closer. Also because Jay said he knew a secluded spot and it was raining outside.
Yeah, I understand, but yeah, let's stay away from Vice. And I found out that a few things about Vice too. So
I actually have a little bit of intel too. A former lawyer who quit on Friday by the name of Wolf works there.
or
He
worked
told me
there.
some. Oh, worked. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That was quick.
But yeah, the biggest. Oh, I gotta go get some food. Damn it.
Here, I got you. I got pizza.
But the biggest thing we really got to work on is his confidence. Awesome, thank you.
100%. Yeah, courtesy of Emma. So when you see her next, appreciate. Especially since all of the food she made and put in our motel room got stolen.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I want us to get the building. Of course, like everybody's going to get keys, but there's going to be certain areas where they're not going to be allowed in, like mine and your office, unless we invite them in.
Ooh, I get my own office? This is fancy.
We might have to share an office, but I'm just saying.
That's good too.
Yeah. Like even though I'm like managing partner, you and I are still equal.
I appreciate that.
Well, it's always going to be like that, Hugo. You know me.
Yes, I do. That's why I stepped up. That's why we're stepping
know.
up like this. You see my commitment. You see my return.
Yeah, I know. And this is why I reached out to you to begin with.
If you had to pick to be your favorite, do you mean
I want Woody to come here
favorite
though,
lawyer?
and get his bar and frickin' just help with the training.
I'm working on him, and I'm also working on a couple others, actually.
Okay, and then
I'm
we
working
gotta
on
get
Siobhan.
Alan. I'm still not sure about her, I'll be honest, but
So when everything went down, I told her face to face that she should step up to the plate as head of the PDO, and she was about to before she got fired.
yeah.
Because of the fact that I have never seen anybody train defense lawyers at the caliber that she can, even including myself.
Right. I'm still, like I said, I'm still on the fence
But we'll see.
about
I mean,
Siobhan, but
she's on the fence too, so at the end of the day, we'll see. We'll see. Emma is being worked on, but like we talked
I
about
know.
yesterday,
No,
she's taking her time.
let's keep Emma right now in the administration role, because I think that's where she would be a little more beneficial right
Yep.
now. And I think that's where she's going to be the happiest.
Agreed. I think
So-
that's going to be pretty good for her. I did
Yeah.
float that her direction. I just haven't heard much of a result just yet. Give a little bit of time. It is her birthday after all.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yep,
How you
yep.
feeling? Better?
Yeah, I haven't fallen down once since I left.
There must have been
Perfect.
something poking you in your shoe or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's quite possible.
Yeah, it does
No,
happen
I have a cast. It's
Okay.
pink. It's under the pant leg though.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm Cassie, by the way. Yeah, let me get your number. I can't even think straight right now. My
They've
brain's like
heard
super
about you.
fried. Oh God.
But
Nothing
Hugo,
but nothing
bad,
but
huh?
good things.
That's true.
There you go.
but Hugo, what did you think of my arguments, though?
I think you did good. I did remember another
Right.
piece of advice that I normally tell people during
You
it.
want to give me your number,
Oh,
Jay? I didn't
apologies.
get.
I'm an absolute idiot.
He's
It's okay.
fried too. Everybody's a little fried. It was a long case.
And I was confused beyond belief because I didn't know what freaking questions to ask.
Okay, so from what I did see, because I had to run out of there like a bat out of hell, because I had to run to get my car to go do a
Nice, Dak.
cell
Very
rep.
nice.
However,
Mad lad stuff though.
you
need
both
sleep.
did really well. Biggest thing I am going to state, Trina, you need to tone down a little bit. You're very excited because this is new and you want to do well and everything like that. You just got to tone it down just a little bit, okay?
Apologies.
I
Yeah.
actually feel like I could have did an objection for like argumentative because of the tone.
There was a it's not well, people will go out and do that kind of argumentative tone all the time. There's times where I've used it myself, unfortunately, and didn't realize I was doing it. So argumentative would be more of not tone, it's more of what you're trying to get across of a question.
I've used
Okay.
it deliberately when the plaintiff specifically made the courts hate them. Because you can get away with more if the plaintiff is specifically digging their own hole. If they're disrespecting
Yes.
the courts, you get away with a lot more. I actually
Yeah.
walked up and I stated, I would normally request that we treat the witness as hostile at this point, but out of respect for the courts, I'm going to leave it up to the discretion of the courts. And then at that point, the plaintiff said, discretion this, and then gestured towards their anatomy. They got another contempt for that.
Yeah.
Me?
Sorry, Trina, but biggest thing, there wasn't actually an objection right at the beginning that you could have used. So, because
2
the
liters of
first
cherry
question out of
Coke.
Trina's mouth was a leading question, and it was
Yeah.
her witness.
That is true. That is accurate. She is
Yeah,
right.
I need to
Pizza
pick
and
up
mac
on
and
that.
cheese are a killer
That's okay. You'll
combination
get
for the
there.
carbo load.
I've
but
said it a few times.
nothing beats
but
sleep.
I was a paralegal in a different city.
Mhm.
I have
Welcome in,
repped-
Landon.
I've repped probably about 50 people.
You missed
in
mock trial. We're
cell-
doing a little bit of
cell
decompression
stuff,
afterwards.
Mhm.
But I have in proper court. I've only been to 4, and unfortunately that city's structure
Mhm.
for the law was
Way different.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot more lax. It wasn't as in depth as the city is. So
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. This court system is what I am used to. I in the city that Hugo, Trina, and I came from previously was a whole different story. It was a learning curve for me. However, Hugo can attest to the fact when I became a DA for that city, I was more plea deals than going to court because honestly, I just
She
didn't want to
betrayed
be.
me.
I didn't want to be in front of those freaking judges at all. Not gonna lie.
She betrayed me.
They were kangaroo judges sometimes.
Sometimes, yes.
And
Yes.
with that in mind too, Trina, that is, we understand where the nature of the
Excitement?
arguments you're going for are
Mhm.
coming from, but we don't want to encourage that behavior in these courts, you know?
I'm not trying to
No.
start a kangaroo court.
No,
Oh, no, you aren't.
No. That's not what we mean at all. Okay. I don't want you to take it personal or anything. It's just sometimes tone is very much interpreted by the judge, and the judge, if I was sitting on that, I would actually be a very standoffish against you by your tone. Okay.
I do want to also state to the fact it's not just my tone. In general, I am very deadpan.
No. That's not the tone I'm talking about. It's there's times where you are very loud.
Oh,
and
Were
you
you
get
a lawyer
excited
or
because you're
something?
trying to make
Because,
your
like, no
point
joke, seems like you
across
have
and
been
everything
one.
like that.
I am not a lawyer.
And you're
I have a
trying
lot
to
of
impress us
experience
and
with the federal
everything. I
systems
want you to
and
be more
real U.S.
yourself,
law, but
'cause I
do
know
not
for a
treat
fact
any of this like legal
that
advice. I have not
that's
passed a
not you.
legal bar.
I'm gonna
I have
say that
just
right now.
committed
That
very
is
heavily to my
definitely not you.
character and done
Okay.
a lot of out of character research
I know.
And
to make sure that
what was the
my
city
guy is
that
on the up
you
and
came
up.
from?
Go ahead,
It was
Landon.
a nice shade of color.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I'm from there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Oof.
I was a DA. My name in that city is Kinsley Murphy.
Yeah, I've done a
I
lot of
was
research.
absolutely not in the legal system in that city.
You're in
No,
the
but
opposite side.
see,
Yes, very much
Yes.
so.
Yes.
let's just put it like this: I was severely damaged by that city,
I
That's
think we
fair.
all were. I think we all were.
and I'm
And I think
slowly
that's why we're
trying
here.
to recover.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, everything went so poorly there that when Woody said he was heading to South America to go help some tree frogs, I just hopped on a plane without figuring out where or what he was doing. I ended up in the rainforest. And then I just kind of sat there and talked with
Yeah.
the frogs for a while, because it was way
Hey.
better than anything I'd done in the last 2 months.
Yeah, and I joined Doctors Without Borders and was on a bush plane to East Timor.
See, you get it. And then I got a call from her.
You know what? I didn't
I-
even say goodbye to anyone. I just left because I was like, I've had it
Yeah,
with
I
this
did
place.
too. I just upped and left. I didn't say
Wait,
anything to anybody either.
I remember you as a judge. I
Me?
think.
I wasn't a
Yeah.
judge in that city.
You
Not that
weren't?
city. Nope.
What
I know
judge
for
are you
a
thinking
fact-
of? What color hair?
No, it's that color hair. I
You were
remember
thinking
it.
of Spring.
Spring. Yeah.
You're thinking
Yeah.
of Spring Daffodil.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
Yeah. I was.
actually, she was actually very gentle and actually very polite with me.
Yeah.
She helped me with a parking ticket or two every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, no,
But
I was never a judge there. I was DA.
She actually paid me to be her driver for a day.
She convinced me once to not go nuclear on a situation. She's a very calming force. I have a lot of respect for Spring. She's not perfect on her rulings, but she was a very calming force.
But then there was a DA that really rubbed me the wrong way.
Which one?
Roger.
Roger.
Or Rager.
You mean Stroker?
Yes, Stroker.
You know what's funny is that of the new DAs that they had, Stroker did okay. He was one of the few DAs who actually dedicated himself to understanding the writ of the law. He, however, did not understand how to manage people.
Yeah, but he...
He was a great guy, though. I genuinely like Stroker. As a character
Stroker
in
needed
and
a
out of
lot
character.
of work. I'm not gonna lie.
No, not just that. He kept blowing me off on my
Oh.
bar exam. He was like, next week, tomorrow.
Were you trying to apply to the DA's office?
Yeah, at first.
Okay, because I was going to say, that doesn't... I don't even think Stroker would have been in the position to provide a bar exam. We might be talking about different people.
No, he had the authority at the time.
Interesting.
To make appointments with a judge to get bar exams done.
Yeah, anybody could... Okay, yeah, anybody could have made an appointment with a judge. At a certain point, the PDO was trusted to manage their own bar exams. However, the DA's office still had to go through judges, so that tracks. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
No, but then I tried with the PDOs, right? And
Who
then
was managing it?
And Luna kept blowing me off as well.
Luna will always blow people off. That's just
Yep.
Luna.
And if
No,
she had answered,
literally,
she would have charged you $7.50 an hour to paralegal for her.
Not just that, she was actually literally trying to... She just literally... Every time I tried to contact her, she was like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck that shit. I'm going on a plane, going to East Timor.
Luna
Fuck
moment.
this shit.
Hugo claims that Luna was the biggest mistake he ever made. Yeah, Luna was honestly, the only mistake I ever made in promotions. And I hold to that. I think that every other person I promoted did great, and she dropped the ball.
But are they opening a paralegal position, or is that still freelance, basically?
I believe they, Cassie, you know this better than I do.
What?
There's an open paralegal position, right? We can have them enrolled through a judge.
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Because I was under the impression we needed to talk with a judge if we wanted them brought in for that, but I've also never been able to accomplish it just at the frequency of judges. Not saying anything,
Yeah.
just saying scheduling-wise, it's been difficult.
That would have been a question for the judge, but he had to go run for dinner.
Yep.
I'll see about that and reach out and figure it out.
And-
But if I don't, you can
Gotcha.
find out, because I think this week they are doing open court. So
Phenomenal. I will be there on Wednesday then. Also, just so both of you are aware, the firm has been established. I know you know that, Trina. We're getting the final things tuckered away and sorted out, and once we do, the paralegals will be paid through there as well. So regardless of whether you have a status through the government for, your role, you will be provided payment and compensation for doing your job.
Okay. I'm just getting my ducks in a row as well.
For sure. No, there's been a slight update in the information, so it's good to check in. I would like to have more intel, but we will get there, and I am patient. So what's the hardest part of doing the
you know what?
law
I'm
RP?
gonna go spin the wheel.
Can I come along? I haven't done mine yet.
Yeah.
Let's go to the wheel. No, let's
Coming,
take the
Jim?
Hugo.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll drive. Tips on driving.
By the way, I have a name to run across.
Oh?
See if you might remember this name.
The wheel.
What
I'm
name?
thinking about your question, Shannon. Give me a sec. That's actually a good question. It's been a long
First
time since I
name
thought about...
was
Because I do a
Michael,
lot of the
and
work
they
effortlessly
were
now.
a
Because I've done it 100, 200 times.
hired killer.
All right, I'm going. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. If you get my drift.
Mm.
Remember rank.
I found out,
That's not. Thank you.
Wait, are we talking about Bird?
No.
What vehicle are we taking?
We're taking the Hugo.
Okay.
Such a beautiful car. I love this van. This is Hugo's van. Here you go.
I got the keys.
Thank you.
Too interesting.
Yep.
When everybody's sitting in the car with me, I just pull them all out of the center console.
Awesome.
I got 4 copies, so whatever
Awesome.
happens, happens.
It's still an
So the
awesome
hardest
car.
part of the job,
We should call it the legal mobile.
it would probably be dealing with unrealistic expectations. Like, Hugo does a good job of managing people's expectations, telling them, hey, you're going to get out of this one, you're not going to get out of this one. But when somebody expects to call a lawyer and have a magic wand waved, and they get all 7 of the felonies they've been charged with
After
dropped,
this,
and
I
they get
do
to
need
keep
to
their
go to
job
bed.
at the hospital,
I have
that's not going to happen.
things.
And there's
I
no
need
way
Yeah,
to make
no
them
worries.
happy. No, you're totally all right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for, Landon, was the Scooby-Doo van. I'm actually going to see if I can get the admins to add in decals that makes it even closer, but that is exactly the vibe I was going for, because Hugo's kind of a Shaggy type, you know? In a storyline on Purple, Hugo actually took the code name of Shaggy, which was fun. But yeah, I'd say the hardest part is managing people who have unrealistic expectations. You know, if you're going to do something in an RP server, you should be willing to accept the consequences. It's one of the reasons why Hugo doesn't do the wild stuff, is because he wants to keep his job, because that's what I like to do. That's what I really like to do as this character. I have a crime character, I just don't do a lot of crime. It's not my vibe generally. So managing expectations when people are expecting a magic wand to be waved and all their charges go away, and that's not what's going to happen. That's never what's going to happen. You do the crime, you're going to expect to do at least a little bit of time, at least a little bit, you know, and like I said, the felonies on people's records can really screw over their ability to do business. One of the reasons why whenever Hugo talks with his clients, he tries to find their priorities, and then he has a conversation about how realistic those priorities are. I do request that we park in the parking lot. Ricky Tow It Away and a couple of the other tow companies love coming here to tow all the cars in this lane.
Yeah, and and that's why I park there anyway, because then I can sue him.
You have to put it away though, Hugo.
Yep, I got it. Oh, no.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I don't have to. She can have a talk with the valet if she's got keys.
Whoever,
Yeah, I'm certain of
is
that.
Whoever is driving the vehicle can talk to the valet and have the valet put it away. However, the owner of the vehicle still needs to contact the valet to have them pull it out.
Okay, but that doesn't work like that with houses.
Interesting. I don't have a
know what to
house.
tell you with that. I know very little of the housing market.
That's fair.
It's not that bad.
So welcome to the casino. Cassie, as an opportunity here for our baby lawyers, what do you think the hardest part of doing the job is for you?
Hardest part for me is separating your personal feelings from the job.
Okay, that's fair. I think mine would honestly be managing unrealistic expectations. You know, when you go down there, they got 7 felonies and they want everything magically waved away.
Yeah.
There you go.
The worst one I have had was...
That's not gonna happen. Exactly. That's the realistic lawyer.
Is that I can't separate... I am not good at separating how I feel about a client personally.
Oh, I hate
Yep. So you're in a similar boat to Cassie then. You're definitely gonna want to take some notes in her department, because she is a master at managing that from my perspective. I was kind of shocked to hear her say it's difficult, but also that means that she's done amazing with it. Extra.
And another contender is trying their luck on the lucky wheel.
I bet you Jays is asking the right questions, because that's what he was saying in mock trial, was asking the right questions.
Ooh, 50-50. Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
Guess what? That's gonna go towards our frickin' our office.
I was gonna say that's some real office money. That's a seventh of what we need. Oh, you got time? I'll take a spin. I skipped mine yesterday, so this should be a good one. Better be a good one.
Another player is trying the lucky wheel. Will they win big or remain a disappointment
I think
in
purple
life?
complements well with black. Do both. No, 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 no! Come on, we were on 50 grand. We were on 50 grand.
Join the club, I got nothing.
You want a drink? I'll get you a drink. There you go, Dak. I did a little dwinks for you. We could. Every single day you get free chips. But Hugo doesn't gamble. He spins the wheel once a day because he's leaving money on the table, which is not smart.
Now,
Bank, please.
I need to go to bed.
Alrighty.
Well, let's go to the bank and we'll get you closer. Do you have a vehicle or no?
Yeah, I have a baller, but it's at the courthouse.
Yeah, well, let's stop at the bank first and then we'll get you to there, okay?
Hugo doesn't gamble. He's not a fan of it.
It's
His
just,
vice
I feel
is
safer
smoking.
if you're near your vehicle instead of having to run across the city.
I'd feel like kind of a jerk if we just abandoned you. We'll take you back.
Yeah, because there's a bank like right there, so we can just go to that bank.
Yeah. Hugo makes money by doing fishing and other stuff. Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, though, is that I don't want, like, a perfect character. They have to have a vice, right? And when I created Hugo as a concept, it was long before lawyering, or before lawyering became his go-to, actually. Before, his whole drive was smoking. There's 2 videos on the channel back when I was playing on Valley RP, where I would just drive around and pick up anybody who was down on the ground, because on that server they couldn't speak. And on their way to the hospital, I'd give them a whole spiel about how you're not going to get paid for this, but I really love smoking. If you find any cigarettes, let your old buddy Hugo know, because that'll be how you pay him back. Because the only way you could get cigarettes was in prison. But yeah, I add imperfections to my characters on purpose. The same way that Vince on Legality is a magicator. I don't care about magic in real life, but those attributes are important to making a functional character, you know, a real character that feels human, instead of just what one would call a Mary Sue.
And set the GPS.
Can't be great at everything, you know? Gotta have balance. Hugo's a terrible driver, too. That's another one of his downsides, one of his debuffs. He's a bad driver. That's why he makes other people drive for him.
Okay, gang, let's go stop some heroin smugglers.
What?
No, you don't get the joke? It's a Scooby-Doo reference.
I don't get the joke, but the fact that you said that makes it funnier to me.
It's a Scooby-Doo reference, you know?
Sounds like something out of the Supernatural crossover.
No, it's that in Scooby-Doo, they tend to stop drug smugglers a lot, especially heroin smugglers.
So they do stop smugglers, but they never state what they're smuggling. And I would actually argue that when you include all of the legacy TV shows, they more so are smuggling jewels than anything else.
Yeah. But I grew up with watching Scooby-Doo in Irish. Dubbed in Irish.
Jack's totally right. Ah, so there's probably a little bit of a difference there then.
In Irish Gaelic, you have to be specific what it is.
Interesting. So they just chose stuff instead of it being nondescript.
Yep. And since it was packaged in brown paper at the time when they dubbed it, what was packaged in brown paper back then was heroin.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. All right. All right. Interesting. The more you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, time for my bed.
You sure you don't want us to take you properly to City Hall?
No, I'm okay.
All right, if you're sure, boss. It was great seeing you. Thanks for coming out for mock trial. You did good.
Thanks.
You did good. Don't second guess yourself. I'll let you know when you need to second guess yourself, okay? It's not now.
Okay.
Best of luck to you. You have a good night.
You too.
So?
You gotta understand that I have an encyclopedic knowledge of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, but that's why I'm telling you. In Irish Gaelic, you have to be very...
money in there, Hugo?
I only have 1,000. I'm all good. I literally had nothing in my pockets before we went to the casino.
Yeah, but I thought you won 30K.
No, I got drinks.
Oh.
That's why I got upset. I was like, we're right next to 50K. We're right next to 50K. And then we got drinks.
But yeah, so... In Irish Gaelic, it's always about being specific.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say the cathedral, right? You have to say, for example, the cathedral with the blue windows.
Really? It requires that level of specifics?
Yeah, but sometimes it does. It depends on the context. You know,
Hold on one sec. Before we park this up, we might go somewhere networking if you're alright with it, Cassie.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Do you have something else in mind? If you do, please lay it on me.
No. I got thinking I'm doing.
Just set the GPS.
Let's go to Premium Deluxe Motorsports. I haven't had the opportunity to see them. Let's go bug them.
Okay. But Yeah, as
That's
I
all
said,
right. Feel better, Landon. Please
many
feel
things
better.
in Irish Gaelic is very specific, even with gender, for example.
Yep. Oh, that makes sense, though. A lot of language have gender-specific things. I mean, many of the Latin-based languages do, too.
Yeah, but Gaelic is so different with it, right? It's not just that it's like the others where there is every single word is gender specific. It is what you say in the first part of your words that makes it gender specific.
What are Gaelic's roots? What is its origins?
It's basically Viking and Saxon.
Okay, gotcha. Is there a lot of cultural carryover then in the language?
Yeah, it's like, for example, in certain word, like the word.
She's
for
saying Norse.
Bitch, for example, right?
Yeah.
In modern language, back in the day, just meant the word for.
Careful, don't run them over.
For girl.
How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Where's Scooby?
We don't have Scooby. We got Shaggy.
Uh-oh.
There's Scooby. We got Scooby.
All right, can you? We're just
How
pulling
you
in a
doing?
PDM. Let us park, okay, sweetie?
Oh, yeah. I was just being nice.
She'll get to talk to us more.
I do have a handicap placard, just so you know, Hugo.
Well, as long as you hang it up on the window, I won't complain. Or on the mirror. That's what it is.
Oh.
It's so spacious back there. I love this thing.
You want this plane?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
It's his car.
You want this plane?
That would be awesome, yeah.
I think
Oh shit.
Do I have to be at the place to clean it? Wow.
But yeah.
How's life been treating you?
Okay.
Have you been able to reach a judge yet?
No. I felt to wait for my lawyer.
Well, open court is definitely happening on Wednesday this week, so...
Yep, I should be there.
It better happen, otherwise they're gonna end up with a backlog.
You look pretty today.
So many gunshots in the
There you
background,
go,
oh my
lucky check.
gosh! So many gunshots, jeezums. Alright, let's see what's going on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm enticing all of your customers right now.
I know.
Oh wait, is this the Patriot?
Sharky's twerking in front of him.
Oh my god. What can I do for you guys?
How's it going, boss? I just wanted to come over and say hello. My name's Hugo Potesta. This here with me is Cassandra Kendricks. We
Hello,
are
Kendricks.
defense attorneys. And we wanted to come out and say hello, make sure that there wasn't anything you folks needed or anything like that. Wanted to spread the word, make sure that everybody knew that the defense lawyers are on the prowl and we are back in action. If anything there is, or if there's anything anybody needs, we are here for you. Your tax dollars pay for us.
Sweet. Are you gonna stick around for longer than 2 weeks, like, you know, unlike the other people?
Well, my
that's
last
true, Doc.
tenure was 6.5 months, as with 2 of those being head of the public defense office. So I'd say so.
I hope so, dog. I feel like I've hired a lawyer every month at Mainline because they always stop being a lawyer after 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing as well from the judiciary. I specifically got called in and brought in for training, so you should see a much higher caliber of lawyers coming out of the bar exam from here on.
Sweet
Okay,
fucking baby
fantastic.
Jesus.
Let me get your phone number and I'll send you mine and I'll talk to my management and call.
We stopped at when we both were when we both were first new into the state and everything like that. We actually talked to somebody at Mainline.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, the thing is, we get lawyers coming down there literally every day trying to get hired by us, but I'm very picky with my lawyers because
No, that's fair.
if I need somebody to represent us, I need the best. So
That's fair. If you are you familiar with some of the other let's call them social clubs in the city?
Yeah.
So if you want to, you can happily talk to the heads of FSF or the disciples. They've both had the opportunity for me to defend them, as well as Miss Kendricks over here, and they will definitely vouch on our behalf if you want one.
Well, and what was your name again?
My name's Hugo Potesta.
We're gonna be at Alpha soon.
And I'm
which
Cassie
garage would you like
Kendricks.
this in?
Or Cassandra Kendricks would be in your phone.
Sign that for me. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, fuck, I'm
Damn.
sorry. Sorry.
She
This
accidentally
Loya's here
clicked.
name
Double for the
dropping
next
everyone.
fucking- You're paying double for next.
I was
time.
popping green.
They're name dropping all sorts of
Yeah.
fucking people right now.
Oh shit. Oh shit. I feel you, dog. Well, shit. I'm glad you made it out safe and sound, dog.
Don't want to square
Hell
up.
yeah.
I do like your wings, by
Ready?
the way.
Brighter, vibrant.
Okay, thank you guys. Mwah, mwah, love
Alright,
you.
So I'm
Don't
giving
speak
you
without a
call 'cause
lawyer.
I have a Hugo lawyer guy down here. He said to give you a call and ask if he was a good lawyer for you in the cells.
Anyone who's not buying cars, just step over to the couch for me, please.
One of the greatest, so I should hire him?
That means you too, Ezra.
There you go.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Appreciate you, gangster.
Certified good guy per Apple
Okay,
phone usage and
Want us
media
to move over here,
requirements.
Hugo?
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Ossificer, are
Yep.
you buying something or just here for a social aspect?
Yeah, yeah. I bet I'll hire him.
Me?
I
You're
appreciate
the
you.
only Ossificer here, aren't you?
I'm trying to check some prices.
Okay, come on,
Alright,
we'll get you
Hugo.
started then.
Mr. Korean vouches for you with his reputation, which is extremely high for me. I will be in contact with you about being the lawyer for not just mainline, but other social clubs.
The Granger.
Fantastic, sir. Anything you need, we can definitely take care of for you. As long as it's above board, you know?
fantastic. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Just look for my call. I'll go
Yep, definitely.
for mainline and give them the rundown and then.
What about
I got you in my phone as Ezra. I'm going to put you in there as Ezra Mainline.
I appreciate it, gangster.
Plead the 74th Amendment. Yeah. One of the quiz questions we do is what's the 27th? Because there is no 27th.
I don't think you really need me around at all.
Yes, I do. Don't lie.
I'm not lying.
No, we're
No.
continuing on with more networking. We did our job.
Okay.
No, I'm not kidding. I don't think you really need me.
No, yes, I do. What are you talking about? You think I want to handle half of the things that you enjoy?
Turn it around, please. Find out
Yep.
if that officer's got a ride.
Yep, that's fair.
Hey, do you have a ride?
I don't have a car, so yeah, I think I will
Okay,
accept.
get in, and we'll take you to MRPD.
Or
No,
wherever
can
else you want to
guys-
go.
Yeah, I want to go to the clothing store.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Is that not a problem?
Not a problem at
Not
all.
We
Thank
will, we will.
We don't have the cherries and berries like you folks, but we're still all on the same side at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Hey, I used to be a doctor, so
There's 26.
old habit.
27th Amendment is not... the joke that Hugo makes is that the 27th
Right.
Amendment is 3 letters. TBA. To be announced.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Have a great day,
Thank you.
trooper. Stay safe.
Wait,
You
hold
too.
on.
Stay safe.
Give me a second. Hold on. What's
Do
your
your
name?
It's Michael. You maybe know my cousin, Eric.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Be
Yeah.
safe.
You too. He just sounded like somebody I represented in the cells.
Ah, brother from another mother kind of
Okay.
situation.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. All right. Where are we going?
Where's the next place that's open?
I have no idea.
Popular's open. Let's go
Yeah.
network at Popular.
You mean mainline?
Is that mainline? Okay. Well,
That's
then again,
mainline.
we don't need to go
No,
there.
we don't need to go there.
Okay.
We just did that job, so we're gonna use our listening ears and find somewhere else.
Go up to the hospital.
Yeah, let's do that. It's been a while since I've gone to Pillbox, and by a while I mean more than 24 hours.
But yeah, but we also need to set up our emergency contacts too.
Oh, you're already my ice.
Oh, am I already on there?
Yep, you're already on my ice list. I
Oh.
had that Arthur handle that the other day.
I think I have to do mine.
I do need you to add both of you on mine.
There we go. Yeah, we'll get out there and we'll get that sorted then.
Especially due to the incident that made me need some fresh air from Sam's, where I got shot.
Well, that would explain it. Yeah, you're not gonna end up getting shot overall. What I'll say is that good lawyers, they don't get shot very frequently.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's just I got shot. Let me shoot. I can even tell you about the incident once we get up here. I just want to be careful parking here. You know.
You might want to do a little bit of a Y turn, you know, back up and then straighten out.
Back up and straighten out. Yeah, because yeah, you
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I need
more
to
back.
Yeah.
He's not right in the head though. He took a shit in the floor.
That's way better. That's way better. I'll call that a tolerable.
Your bloodline is good.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. There's a fence here.
No, you're good. You're good. It's all right.
This fence makes it hard to navigate there.
Oh yeah, you could do a much better turn if that fence weren't in the way. I totally agree.
Yeah. Anybody need a lawyer in
I'd
here?
like to set up my ice contacts, please.
You're up.
Okay.
How's it going,
You
boss?
gotta do some MDT reports. Hello, hello.
The 100 men single gorilla.
What's your name?
Can we do this in a little bit of a private area instead of the lobby, please?
Yes, we can. Follow me.
Thank you. 'Cause, yeah.
I'll even take you to a more private area than the recovery room if you would like.
Arthur took us to a special meeting room when he did our ice
Did he?
contacts. Yeah, down over this way.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
there's people in there right now.
Oh, well, that explains it.
Hey, Benji.
Hey, Hugo.
How's it going?
Still getting punched by your interns?
No, they've figured it out.
Paralegals? No.
The you have no idea how many times Brian punched me in a single day. It was insane.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I introduced you to him.
No. My Brian Bologna, not Davies. We got two
Oh,
Brians on paralegaling now.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep. So that was Brian Bologna's fault. He kept on driving the car into stupid stuff and punching people. But yeah, he's fine. We need a lost leader, and he's a great guy. A little bit of a weenie, but a great guy. How's life
As
with
long
you,
as he's
Ben?
not a weenie in the courtroom, right?
No, he specializes more so in documentation and research, so he generally goes second chair.
Ah, makes sense.
Yep.
Can
But
do
those types
good.
of lawyers are the backbone of what makes first chair possible. So we appreciate it. But I won't keep you too long. I gotta get back in there.
Tonight. Oh yeah, you got business to attend
I
to.
got biz news, but you have a good one. It was good seeing you.
Okay, you stay safe.
You tell me.
Oh yeah. Well, it shows A negative is your blood type that's on record.
Okay, yeah, that's correct.
A negative. Get it?
So who's this contact?
It's gonna be Hugo, Hugo. And
Okay.
then last name is Patesta, Pattesta.
And phone number?
572-6749. He's the only one I want on there.
So the 100 man, one gorilla question. I would say 100 men would win. Just because they could dogpile. They could just stack on top of the gorilla, and gravity does all the
We
work.
got a bunch of patients coming in.
Yeah, no worries.
I can schedule a time later if you need to add anything else.
No, we're
Okay.
good. Yeah, no, absolutely. You do you. Coming here.
Now I'm going to ask you a question you might not be willing to disclose. Are they 95s?
I actually don't know, and I
Okay.
couldn't tell you if they were.
That's the right answer.
Good job. We're lawyers, so good job.
I yapped his ear off the other day.
We,
He knows.
we might be talking very soon, Hugo.
Oh, all right. Well, then you let me know. We got our retainer set up as well in case you're interested.
As a clown, I'm identified by my mask, but PD seems to think it obstructs my vision to the point that I can't drive with it on.
So I've actually had a conversation about this as well. My recommendation.
We are not going out there.
Yep, I agree.
Yep, I'm staying in here.
Yep. So my recommendation would be is take your mask to an optometrist and have them put in prescription lenses.
Nah, don't worry about it. He needs to fucking watch his fucking
PHS
attitude.
to
Talk
PD?
to me like that.
He's calling the PD.
Hey, I got shots fired at the hospital.
do anything.
Who was it?
Were you able to potentially update it with Jumbles?
No, because he was busy doing my bosses first.
Sorry, and I wouldn't go out there till PD secures it, please.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
No.
I'm just taking my.
We came out here to do networking, so we'll network.
Yeah, exactly.
So get him taken to an optometrist?
Yeah,
and
take
then
him to an
it becomes a
optometrist.
prescription?
Have him put in the prescription lenses. Then it is your glasses.
Right.
Jumbles. Can you update Trina's ice contacts as well? I've got an OR coming in.
Right, I heard that. I was going to ask if you wanted help.
Yeah, you can come help if you want.
Okay.
Right. Let's go talk in the conference room, Trina, and I'll get that update for you.
You can just do the OR if you need to. I'll
Okay.
get it updated another time.
Appreciate you, Shannon. You have a great night. Thanks for coming in.
Call me
Yeah,
and
sure.
schedule a time.
Sure, Jumbles.
You ended up covering almost the entire stream too, so awesome job with
This is
that.
why I like still being friends with them.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I think that was a good call on your end, 100%. I'm probably gonna stick around here for the next 5 or 10 regardless. In about 4 minutes, I need to go stare at that wall very intently.
Oh, you need a nap or something?
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
Alright, but yeah, Rebirth RP. I'm really looking forward to this experience. We're going to be training up a bunch of brand new lawyers. We're going to get everybody's rights defended. Everybody gets a lawyer, Oprah style. I'm super duper excited to see how this all pans out. I have a lot of confidence and a lot of faith in this. I think we're going to see a lot less of the rights violations that were pissing off the lawyers, causing the circles. So there's not going to be as much management of people being upset as much as it is internally as it is externally now, which I'm very excited
Do you
for.
guys need any medical assistance?
No, I'm
Not
good,
right
thank
now.
you.
No, we're just waiting on the police.
Oh, well, that might be a couple minutes, so.
That's okay. I'm not in any kind of rush. By any chance, would you happen to need a lawyer?
I personally do not need a lawyer, but thank you.
Well, if you ever need one, do be sure to give us a ring, alright?
Okay, and you would be?
My name is Hugo Potesta, and this right next to me is my partner, Cassandra Kendricks.
Oh.
Well, nice to meet you guys.
We're going around networking, but as soon as we walked in here, shots got fired out there.
Yeah. And I'm Trina. I used to work here, but now I'm a paralegal for these two.
I mean,
I get it. Sometimes, you know, change of pace is nice, so
I just needed a little breath of fresh air. You know?
I get that.
Very excited for how things are going to here, though. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. As always, new video comes out tomorrow. New video comes out Friday. And we will be having our vote Thursday, Friday for next Sunday's stream. It will not be another Rebirth because we don't do repeats unless absolutely necessary. And I don't think there's going to be anything absolutely necessary just yet. However, if you guys want to see this again, it will be back on the vote in 2 weeks for the next one after that. I hope you all had a great one. If you did, right down below is the like and the subscribe button. We're a small channel, so I'd appreciate anything y'all would be able to afford us, whether that be a comment with feedback or just hitting those buttons. I hope y'all had a good one, though. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we will see all of you next time. Later!
This is Cassie.